We have TF2 rectified. I know nothing about this. This just came across my desk. It was made by, like, I think 2 dudes. Oh yeah, and apparently this was made by a spy main, so take that as you will. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, I suspect, okay? We're doing this sober. We're doing this sober. I have tea, no alcohol. We're just going right into it. Let's just begin. So, context. This project exists as the imagining of the ideal version of Team Fortress 2. The ideal version. This is how the game should be. It is meant to be taken as a whole. However, many of its individual changes could be implemented straight into the current game without relying on others present within. It is a result of more than 100 hours of work, careful deliberation, and calculation by 2 experienced players with a sum of 7,217 hours at the time of the last update. We simply decided to aggregate our grievances, hence this. We tried to look at all perspectives and take into account all interactions that would naturally arise. It is our passion for the core game that is the main driver for this personal project, and we ask that at least that be granted. Yeah, sure, that's granted. Like, again, full disclaimer, make as many of these as you want. These are like fun, hypothetical things, or you can like even go through the full effort of making this into a full-blown mod. Like, we're not trying to discourage this, but you know me, if there's some wacky shit in here, I'm gonna make fun of it. Just get ready. Principles of fairness in service of fun and the resulting commoditized fun were kept and employed through tweaks, shakeups, reworks, and removals of removals were already going down a bad path, I think, of various gameplay and non-gameplay related elements, with the chief goal being improving the game through an unbiased lens. I have a very nagging suspicion that there's gonna be a lot of bias in this mod. Just saying, whenever you see rebalance mods like this, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm thinking we're gonna see maybe just a little bit of bias. Maybe just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. General changes, they did a lot. They did matchmaking changes, gameplay changes, audio, visual, miscellaneous. Let's start with matchmaking. What do they do with matchmaking? If they kept matchmaking, we are already off to a terrible start. TF2 does not need matchmaking in any way, shape, or form, and if I scroll down and I see anything other than removal of skill-based matchmaking, this is already a terrible mod. Because the game does not need skill-based matchmaking, it does not work. That's my stance on it. I think that's just true. The abundance of choice is often mistaken for improvement far past its utility. A system does not operate in isolation, and this one is no exception. As the active mercenary population contracts, distributing it across an ever-growing number of battlements, so basically saying there's too many maps, introduces predictable strain, underpopulated battlements, fragmented matchups, and the increased difficulty sustaining large fights. Basically, we don't have enough players to populate as many maps as we have. We pass the point where expansion remains harmless. That is just objectively true. Off to a good start here. Continuing without intervention will only accelerate the problem. Also just objectively true. The way TF2 is being maintained is simply not sustainable. If the enterprise is to remain functional, the choice of battlements must be reduced. Okay, so if this is what they mean by removing content from the game, removing maps, that's good. We don't need 126 of them. We need like 40. 60 maybe, but 40, like, this is great. This is so far so good. Nothing disagreeable. This is not a matter of preference. It is indeed a matter of necessity. That is just true. Full agreements with everything in this paragraph, all right? Balance, score, MMR, and PTR. No, they kept matchmaking. Why are you keeping it? There's no point in keeping. Okay. I haven't read this. I'm assuming this is for the competitive mode. Please, God, if this is just for the competitive mode, it's okay. Competitive mode, you expect MMR. That's the point, even though it doesn't work. If it is competitive mode, it's meant to have matchmaking. That's okay. But if this applies to casual mode, we're off to a bad start. So let's see. Changes. Added performance to time ratio, which is measured in points over time. It's a moving average over the last 5 minutes of gameplay. Okay. Added adjusted PTR, which is PTR multiplied by the MMR coefficient. This is a metric used in place of PTR in game modes where winning matters more. Okay, so they're weighting how many points you're scoring in a 5-minute time frame towards your actual skill rank. Is that gonna matter that much in shorter competitive games? I don't know. Rounds on alternative game modes don't count in the MMR metric, and neither do rounds where the player had 5 or less points in total. This is implying that this is for casual mode, which is not a good sign. It is the score assigned to each player taken for the purposes of auto-balancing. This is for fucking casual mode, dude. Why? Why even have matchmaking? Why keep it? What is the point of trying to keep this system in the game? It doesn't work at all. And just adding more variables is not going to solve the problem. You can't account for the insane complexity of Team Fortress 2 and its incredibly dynamic play with a matchmaking system. The purpose of these changes is to give Autobalance a better chance to do right upon player transfer. These metrics will also be used for the purposes of the improvement of balanced match initiation. So not only is it being used for forming matches, but also for Autobalance? I can see a metric like this being used for Autobalance. That makes a bit more sense. But then again, Autobalance, right? Autobalance is only used when trying to keep team sizes the same. That's like the main functionality of having Autobalance. Score of the player, not necessarily that important. It does matter a little bit. Not that it matters that much, in my opinion, because the teams are so large, a single player skill doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme. Something like this could be valuable for something like team scrambles. Reason being, Team Fortress 2, from day one up until, well, now, because the matchmaking system does not work, always forms teams at random. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how the game is formed, teams are formed completely at random in terms of skill, because the matchmaking system does not work, okay? So what arises is a random chance of having a miserably unbalanced game. And the solution for that, when you had a really unbalanced game, where one team was absolutely curb stomping the other, the solution is a team scramble, because if you shuffle players around at random, that's just going to guarantee a much better balance discrepancy, even if it's completely random. If you try to incorporate some metric into that, so it's a bit more weighted to like, okay, these are roughly the good players, these are roughly the bad players, or like who's having a good day and who's having a bad day, using like the past 5 to 10 minutes of points, that does make some sense. That can work. TF2 is such a dynamic game where people are changing what they're doing all the time. They're changing classes, they're changing loadouts, you know, they may be in a shit mood, they could be drunk, they could be a new player, they could be a bad player, right? You want to get a rough grasp on the current effectiveness of that player in that current match. You can't do it from match to match. These scores can't carry over into the next game because of how complex TF2 is, right? So doing this for Autobalance does make sense because that takes into account everyone's current, desired level of engagement, everyone's current desired classes and loadout choices, what have you, because everyone's not going to have the same level of effectiveness all the time. You can have someone with 5,000 hours choosing to play their worst class because they're bored, getting outperformed by a 5-hour engineer. That's why you can't have skill ranks carrying over from match to match. It just makes no sense. But using a short-term gauge of how effective they are over a certain window of time in the current game, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what have you, definitely makes a lot more sense for something like Autobalance. But forming teams from the beginning, that doesn't make sense. You can't carry skill ranks from game to game. It's just not going to work. So this implementation for Autobalance, I do like it. I can see that absolutely working. So that's good for Autobalance and team scrambles. But for actually forming matches, no, I don't see that working. Parties. In my opinion, party system needs to be removed completely. Getting into a party has done nothing but harm team balance in Team Fortress 2 because you have a 6-stack of fucking comp gods against a 6-stack of fresh installs just looking to fuck around, and it completely fucks up, it ruins team balance. It has ever since day one. It fucking sucks. Just needs to be removed unless they re-implement the team selection screen. Because if that party gets split up across both teams, then it's no longer an issue. But if they get put on the same team, that's a problem. That fucks up balance. It's never a good thing. And also, it facilitates bots, which is what, facilitated the bot crisis for 9 fucking years. Changes. Opposite team party size matchmaking changed, so 4-player parties can be matched with 3-player parties, which can be matched with 2-player parties, which require no matching condition. Okay, so they're just letting smaller and larger parties get matched together, so what's the point of even keeping the system? Party size cap reduced to 4. Okay, that's a better step, and that's a good step in the right direction, but it's still an issue of having 4 players coordinated stomping. Still don't like the idea of having a party system. If 3 or more party members make a matching vote, it counts as n-1. Okay, so if everyone's in a party, they weight their votes to be valued less than the individual players in the server. But it feels like we're kind of bending and twisting ourselves in knots here, to kind of keep a system that really doesn't have a strong benefit other than just putting people into the server at the same time. So just have a system that dumps everyone into the server at the same time. That's really all we need. They don't need to be on the same team. They don't need to be fucking matched up against a party of equal size or skill. Just dump them all in the game, let them sort themselves out across the team selection screen. There's no real need to keep a party system like this, in my opinion. Individual party members select if they want to join the team opposite to the rest of the party in the party options. See, and here's the thing, man. While giving more player freedoms isn't automatically a bad thing, it's also not automatically a good thing. When I put out my latest video talking about how players are put into ongoing games, a lot of people just said, well, just let that tick box that we have on the main menu where it says, you know, don't join games in progress. Well, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to tick off that box that says don't join games in progress, because what that box actually says is, yes, I want to play for more. I want to play longer always, so I want to always join games from the beginning. So what's going to happen is, the matchmaking system is going to have to constantly form teams from the very beginning, which is what happened on day one, and games wouldn't start until everyone got put in the game, and it was a fucking shit show, and that's why Valve rolled that back, and that's why that option was never re-implemented, because if it was, we'd immediately go back to matchmaking day one, which was terrible, and no one wants that. When you give people the option to, like, stay in the same party or not stay in the same party, most of the time, people do want to play with their friends. It's fun to play against your friends, and that's a freedom that we once had, but if you're playing as a party, generally, people are going to stick together most of the time. Very rarely are you going to see people opting in to be split up from their friends. Option to play against party members added because it's been a highly requested feature. Not only is it a highly requested feature, you could just play against your friends whenever you wanted to before Meet Your Match came out. Like, people forget that. You could just play against your friends whenever you wanted to in a Valve or a community server because we had team switching, but they just removed that. It's not just a requested feature. That's just how the game functioned for 8 years before Valve removed it. Like, make no mistake, that was removed from the game. That aspect of player agency was removed from the game, man. Oi. Map pool. Changed map pool setup. 40 plus 2-year max maps in-game available for selection at any one time. 26 plus 2-year max of the most popular maps are kept in the permanent selection. 14 of the maps are rotated each day from the remaining maps. Capped map additions to 2 per year, just stop adding them. We don't need more. We don't need more maps, just fucking cut it out. Permanent selection changes made primarily to address the issue of player dilution. This is just true. Daily rotation added to address the issue of staleness, and map additions capped per year to a sweet spot between novelty and slop. We have 126. I just think we need to stop adding maps in general. We really don't need them. I think having a daily rotation inside of TF2 is a really, really bad idea, because ultimately we're leaving it up to who to decide what maps get to stay and what maps don't. And popularity metrics, you know, popularity metrics aren't always a reflection of how good the map is, according to my latest video, because you have maps like Embargo and Breadspace and Venice beating very traditional and beloved maps like fucking Viaduct or Steel. So a popularity statistic alone is not going to be good enough to determine what maps should and should not go. In my opinion, we just need a flat-out culling. Just remove 60 maps immediately. Remove all the shitty winter maps, remove basically every map added after 2018, save for maybe 1 or 2 of them. And that's a good place to start. Any kind of map rotation with a temporary presence of one map over another, you're never going to satisfy everyone. You're never going to satisfy everyone. And any kind of solution to tackle the volume of maps we have now, and I will give credit to these guys. This is well thought out. It's a well thought out idea, and it's definitely not the worst one I've seen. The problem is that there's never going to be a perfect solution for dealing with the volume of maps we have in the game right now. But there are 2 absolutes. Stop adding maps. We don't need more of them. So I disagree with adding 2 per year. How about just none? We don't need more. We're through. We have plenty of maps in the fucking game. And second, relying on Valve to choose what gets to stay and what goes, I don't exactly trust Valve to do that. Yeah, TF2 shouldn't have gone past 40 maps. 60 maps is pushing it, but 126 is ridiculous for any video game. Selection, added ad hoc connections. Okay, then what's the point of a matchmaking system? Having ad hoc connections completely defeats the purpose of having skill-based matchmaking because you can just bypass the balancing. Unless I'm misinterpreting this. Unless this is only being used for Autobalance. I'm assuming that this is, what this statement is here, where it's being used to, for Autobalance and the improvement of match initialization. I'm assuming this means it's still going to be used to form games. If you add ad hoc connections, that completely defeats the purpose. Because a lot of people are going to opt for this and completely bypass any kind of balancing. So what's the point of having matchmaking when you have these antithetical features that are also going to be incompatible? You cannot have ad hoc connections with a system that operates with slot reservations using a skill rank, because those two things are going to conflict. How do you ad hoc into a server that's trying to put in players and reserve slots based on a skill rank? It's not going to work. One system must literally be turned off in order for the other to function. This is inside the SDK, by the way. Autobalance conflicts with slot reservations, so one cannot be on while the other is looking for a player. Removed match accept waiting period. So they removed the 10 seconds before you're just put into a server, which is fine, I guess. This has always been completely pointless because there's no cancel button. Like, why does the pop-up even exist? Because there's no cancel button. It's like, oh shit, I actually don't want to be in this game. Sorry, you have no choice. It's gonna connect you anyways. As soon as that pop-up appears, you've established connection. Like, this is something I excluded from my video, but as soon as that pop-up notification appears, a slot is being reserved for you, and it's held until you load in. And that's why the matchmaking system is so fucked right now, is because of how it reserves slots. It connects you, loads you in, and that whole time, you just can't, that slot's not being used. And so if a whole bunch of people leave at the same time, and then the game finds a whole bunch of players, oh shit, all of those slots are going to be functionally empty until all of those players load in, which is only going to prolong the misbalance and therefore the stomp that's probably going on. No one really wanted matchmaking to begin with. Like that's like the one thing so many people forget. No one asked for casual mode. No one wanted casual mode. No one even likes what casual mode is trying to do because it doesn't work. It fails consistently. The older systems and functionality are just objectively better in terms of producing higher quality games. Added an animated visual preview of each map in the map selection menu on hover. Okay, this is cool. This is something that's been needed for a very long time. The sheer volume of maps we have in the game with absolutely zero visual representation of what they are, that sucks. So having a little pop-up image or animation appear of the map, that's a good thing. I like this. That's a very neat addition. Removed map voting at the end of a match. Players vote for the next map during the match. Thank you. That's just like the stupidest thing imaginable that Valve's ever done. A player's map vote stops counting if they abandon the match. Also good. The fact that you can vote for a map and then leave is ridiculous. They shouldn't be able to do that. Having the map vote appear at the end of the match has always been insanely stupid. I explained why in my last video. The map vote appears after the big metal doors slam in your face telling you it's time to go. So what's the point if half the server has already left and the map vote then appears? It's a completely redundant thing. It just makes no sense at all. So having the map vote appear as you played, like it did before Meet Your Match, when all players are present and they can vote for the map and go, oh shit, I may want to stay for this map. Oh, okay, the same map has been selected. I want to keep playing on this map. I'm gonna stay. Instead of like sticking around for the gamble where you sit there, do nothing, and just wait to see what map it's going to go to after the game is over. One, not only are you just sitting there doing nothing, waiting to start playing again, wasting your time, but then you're gambling, not knowing whether or not the map you've chosen is actually going to win. If you do that while you're playing, you're just going to keep playing and then you're going to bail out at the very end, and that's a lot better than wasting your time to see whether or not you want to stick around. It respects a player's time, it respects their agency way more. Having the map vote appear as you play makes the most sense for a game like TF2. The most sense. Added the option to include vanilla community servers in the queue. Thank God, put this back, obviously, right? This is just re-implementing this is basically just quick play so far, except the animated visual preview. This is basically just quick play. Added the option to include vanilla community servers in the queue. This is desperately needed. Two things are desperately needed to get traffic back into community servers. First, ad hoc connections, having Valve servers appear in the server browser. Because what does that do? If you go in the server browser, it's like, oh, okay, I want to play on, I don't know, Pipeline. Today I want to play on Payload Race Pipeline. You enter Pipeline into the search feature, and then, oh shit, this massive list of both Valve and community servers is going to be presented to you. Okay, What does that do? That directly exposes players to the existence of community servers and therefore drives their traffic. Also, having the option to include vanilla servers into your search, not your queue, search, whatever, that's also going to increase the flow of player traffic into vanilla community servers, which is also great. That would greatly increase the amount of traffic and encourage their growth. It's certainly not going to get back to the days of old. The game's old, doesn't have nearly as many players as it once did, but it would definitely increase traffic back to those servers that may or may not be preferable based on your taste. You know, do I want to play in a community server? Do I like this community, or do I just want to stick with vanilla Valve servers, whatever, so on and so forth. It just gives the players more agency. It gives the players a greater freedom of choice to pick the servers they want, and that just makes complete sense. Servers need to be verified and require the host to give up host privileges upon verification? Okay. Should have completed. Why? What? So, okay, let me get this straight. If I'm interpreting this correctly, the host pays for the servers, they host the servers, but then they relinquish all control over to Valve? So then what's the point of having the server if it's not your own community? You're basically just asking people to pay for more Valve servers. What? That's kind of insane. Expecting people to do that is a bit nuts. That's a terrible idea. No, just have it stop at let players host their own servers, and then let the players choose the experience for themselves. Server verification does not work. Look no further than what TF2 Classified did. They basically killed their own mod and then blamed everyone else for not liking what they did. That's what happened with TF2 Classified. Initialization changes. Okay, so this is match formation. The matchmaker selects a random player from the appropriate queue and matches them with against players that have an MMR within the range of 3 times higher or lower. Okay, so this is already a failure, because you can't have slot reservations, you can't have skill ranks with things like ad hoc connections. Again, these two systems are completely incompatible. There's a reason why Valve hasn't turned these things back on, because it would heavily conflict with slot reservations. It just does not work. Moreover, any kind of MMR ranking in Team Fortress 2 does not work. I spent like 20 minutes explaining why in that 4-hour-long video. TF2 is simply too complex of a game to dilute everything down into like a single number to go, this is how skilled a person is. Match initialization should go no further than this. Find all the players looking for the same map and then throw them in. That's where it stops. And then balance almost always sorts itself out. You know this if you play on community servers. Reduce slot reservation timeout to 2 minutes. How about just remove slot reservations entirely? Yes, I would like to have a slot be functionally empty for still up to 2 minutes. That's insane. Like, yeah, let's just keep it. But no, there just shouldn't be any slot reservations at all, because what purpose do these serve other than to prolong misbalances to facilitate a matchmaking system that does not work in the first place? Map timer set to 45 minutes. What's funny is that map timers are also incompatible with MMR, because MMR requires a win-loss condition. If you don't have real winners and real losers, how are you going to appropriately gauge what a skill rank is going to be? Just having a map timer with however many rounds fit in that 45-minute time frame is completely antithetical to a skill-based matchmaking. You have so many contradicting ideas fighting each other here. It just makes no sense. Class limits. This already sucks. No, there should be no class limits in Team Fortress 2. Full stop. If I want 7 spies, there should be 7 spies. Imposing class limits in Team Fortress 2 is the most antithetical thing to fun you could ever do in this game. Letting players choose what they want to do, play what they want, however they want, whenever they want, is exactly how it should be and how it should remain. Class limits have no business being in the vanilla game. If you want to host your own community servers that way, then fuck it, you can do whatever you want. But in vanilla Team Fortress 2, fuck no. Hell no. There is nothing less fun to me. I've been spoiled by Team Fortress 2. This is why I don't like Deadlock or Marvel Rivals that much. It's like, oh boy, I can't wait to play my favorite class. Sorry, you can't play it right now because someone else beat you to it. How is that fun? That fucking sucks. That's why I like Deep Rock Galactic. You want 4 scouts? Fuck yeah, play 4 scouts. You want 4 drillers? Fuck yeah, 4 drillers. It's great. That's the most fun you can have in games like this. Reasoning. Class limits set Despite what you may petulantly protest, petulantly, yeah, it's petulant to want to have the freedom to play whatever you want, however you want. You don't want to play football with 5 goalkeepers, and you don't want to play that's a false equivalence, and you don't want to play a match with 4 spies and 3 snipers in your team. What if we do? What if we do want to play a match with 4 spies and 3 snipers? Like, you don't get to decide this for me. You don't get to make the decisions for me. You don't get to decide what I want to do that day. If we want to have a team that's nothing but spies, because we want to and it's fun, we should be able to do that. Well, this kills it. See you tomorrow. Yeah, the changes are liberal enough. Only 2 snipers, two men. What if I want to have like shove 5 medics in 1 heavy? Come on. What do you mean This is more restrictive than Uncletopia. How can you dare claim that these are liberal enough when you have stricter limitations than fucking Uncletopia? Liberal enough to let you play what you want? No, for most of the time, not really. But restrictive enough to prevent extremes and provide a more structured balance and therefore better experience? No, the fun comes from being able to play whatever you want. I don't know. I'm beginning to think this could be bait. I am beginning to think this is not real. Why does it say demo men? That's a great question. I don't know. Brimstone alarm. Yeah, that's pretty fucking close. It is indeed brimstone alarm. Pre-game and setup. Have the setup timer. How about just don't have... Wait, so you keep the pre-round timer and then half the setup timer? Is that what this means? Or do you mean the actual setup timer before the game actually starts? The further we go, the more this feels like bait. The further we go, the worse this is getting, dude. But then again, Grouch was totally serious. And we haven't seen anything that crazy yet, right? Those, like, Grouch's ideas were 100% like legit. He wasn't fooling nobody. He wasn't like blowing smoke up your ass. He thought those were good ideas or fun ideas. So far, nothing too crazy yet. I'm assuming they mean having the pre-round timer and not the actual setup timer, because we don't need pre-round timers, just remove them. No one needs to warm up for TF2, come on. Doubled the movement speed and attack speed for all classes? What's the point? What's the fucking point? So you have the timer and then double the speed? Like, is your attention span that short where you need this to happen faster? What the fuck? Are you insane? Okay, this is bait. This isn't fucking real. What are you fucking smoking? Host timescale 2 for the fucking setup timer. Just so the game starts faster? Like, the fun is the anticipation and the setup. What are you smoking? Like, the fun is like kind of dicking around with your teammates before the game starts. Like, you want to suck out that aspect of the game's soul. Like, what if I want to high five a guy before the game starts? Sorry, you gotta do it at 2 times speed now. You don't get to relish the moment. Reason, half the setup timer to waste less time on things that aren't gameplay. What do you mean setup isn't gameplay? Setup is gameplay. To call setup not gameplay is insane. Players getting into position, medics building Uber, engineers getting set up. How can you say that it's not gameplay? This is insane. And doubled various function times to not affect actually setting anything up. Like, you contradict yourself in the same fucking sentence. It's not gameplay, but then also you're setting things up for the gameplay. Pre-round freeze countdown reduced to minimize downtime. What's the fucking point? Autobalance, okay. Holy shit, this is a massive wall for autobalance. Okay, autobalance is now prioritized over slot reservation for evening things out. The problem is that these 2 systems conflict. One has to be turned off in order for the other one to be turned on, meaning new players will not be put into the server until Autobalance is done figuring out who it needs to move. So it's just gonna slow down server repopulation in order to preserve a system that does not need to be here in the first place. Autobalance now requires 30 seconds of imbalance. What the fuck do you mean 30 seconds of imbalance? And this interval can elapse while autobalance is on cooldown. What the fuck do you mean 30 seconds of imbalance? That's 1/6 of a King of the Hill play timer. And imagine being down 4 players for 30 seconds. That's not, I mean, that already happens in TF2 all the time, but holy shit, if not longer. Autobalance now runs on a 2-minute, there shouldn't be a cooldown for autobalance at all. Autobalance has a 20 minute per player cooldown. I think that's okay. A player getting auto-balanced twice in 5 minutes sucks. This is fine. Auto-balance is now disabled for party members? No. Don't do that. Parties should be split up. Auto-balance is now disabled for engineers with deployed buildings that have 500 or more metal invested in them, and medics with more than 50% ubercharge. I don't think anyone really cares about this. I really don't. I don't think I've ever seen a player once complain about getting auto-balanced because they had Uber. I really don't see an issue here. Auto-balance is now disabled for the last fourth or whatever the last point is of the round in attack, defense, and payload. It's also disabled for the last minute on the active timer, or less than 2 minutes on both timers combined on King of the Hill. Here's the problem, man. With a game like Team Fortress 2, where players are allowed to come and go as they please, auto-balance is a necessary evil. You have to be able to move players around up until the very ending of the game. It sucks. It sucks to the person that it happens to, but it's a necessary evil if you're going to allow players to come and go as they please. Especially now that the game functions in such a way where it encourages players to treat matches as disposable. Even though, bringing back quick play would greatly incentivize players to stay during an ongoing stomp because, oh shit, the next round's probably going to be more balanced because of the auto balance system, the team scramble system. Having it being disabled for the last minute or last 2 minutes is just not a good idea. Because what if the last 2 minutes, right? The last 2 minutes of a game on King of the Hill, a team is down 5 players. How is that fun? Auto scramble, added back auto scramble. Auto scramble triggers when any team leads by 2 rounds. Again, completely antithetical with the matchmaking system, because how do you scramble players that are not even loaded into the server? How does it handle slots being reserved for players that are not there yet? Auto scramble and scramble needs to be brought back immediately, 100%. These things should have never been removed from Team Fortress 2, but they conflict with the existence of a matchmaking system that simply doesn't work. It just needs to be removed. Added an auto kick feature which automatically kicks players that have above 100 ping for more than 20 seconds. No. What the fuck do you mean? Dude, what if my internet craps out? And I know, my internet shits itself all the time. It's like, okay, what if I want to stay in this server because I know it's going to stabilize, but if it doesn't stabilize in 20 seconds, well then bye, I just get kicked out of my game? How is that fun? The fuck? No, it's a horrible idea. Yeah, I agree. Just add the ability to kick spectators. That's like, re-add spectate mode, allow people to kick spectators, that's it. Added vote priority. High priority equals vote kick reason accused of cheating votes. Why is there priority? What do you mean by priority? Low priority, other vote kick reasons, map vote, nudge, Chris Eternaween. Votes without immediate importance are presented to players during the respawn period? No, just have the vote appear at the time in which they're called. The vote ends as soon as the vote outcome cannot be changed. Added a 5-second grace period to change your vote. Sure. Added a neutral vote option? No. Don't do this, otherwise shit will never go through. Reduce the on-server join vote kick cooldown to 15 seconds, but the time spent while voting is in progress does not count. Reason: vote priority system added to make votes less intrusive. The only reason why votes became intrusive in the first place was bots. And having to constantly kick bots out of your game, because guess what you don't see now? Votes. Ever. Unless you have a cheater. It's so rare now to see a vote kick in game. The only reason why they became intrusive in the first place, because they were never intrusive before Meet Your Match either, is because we had the bots. And what system were the bots facilitated by? The matchmaking system. So why the fuck is it still here? This is all, to me, the changing in vote priority is completely pointless, because votes are not intrusive given the infrequency at which they occur now. So this is so far like 80% dog shit and 20% pretty agreeable things. Let's get to the fun stuff. General gameplay changes. Randomness, remove random crits, already dog shit, sorry. Remove random pellet spread, compies, oh, they play competitive. I can immediately tell that. Removed random fall damage variance. Doesn't make that much of a difference. Don't care. Immediately dead on arrival. Sucks. This is so far worse Uncletopia. Following mechanics with the exception of random crits are just kind of there. They serve no real purpose while making things less consistent and were thus removed. As for random crits, if you want to keep them, you've instantly disqualified yourself from any balance discussion. Yeah, if you like the thing that I don't like, just go away. You're not allowed to speak about these things. And yeah, no bias, by the way. Here's my argument. Random crits are fun, and I think a video game should be fun. So they deserve to stay. 100% bait. Is it bait? I'm thinking it is bait. Contracts. Removed the ability to get dupes on contracts by default. Made contracts less grindy? What do you mean? Made contracts not encourage very specific actions? No, I think it's good that contracts encourage very specific actions, because it encourages players to try out new classes or new weapons or things they otherwise normally wouldn't do. It breathes a whole lot of new life into the game. Like, you don't have to do the contracts, dude. Like, if a contract appears for a weapon or a class that you don't want to do, then just don't do it. Made it so that no more than half the contract completion can be gained on one person? I don't think I understand what that means. Is it to cut down farming? No teamwork, I guess? Stop farming with a friend? Who cares? Like, they're not meant to be taken that seriously. Made the max contracts past duration 6 months. Why? This crap is making me want to play Overwatch. Help. Automatically kick players who are wearing lime green on scout. That I would, if I made my own balance mod, absolutely would put that in the game. If you have lime green or hot pink paint, you're gone. The game just uninstalls itself if you use those paints. Made it so contracts save their progress continually and can be turned in at any time. I don't know if I agree or disagree with this. I think what we have now, where it finishes at the end of a round, is more than acceptable. Because if you can just instantly save any progress you want, you can just server hop and stomp to finish it. It kind of encourages players to leave a game and not stay in a game. So I think this is kind of, this is destructive to wanting to keep servers populated. So I don't think I agree with this idea. I think just having it save your progress at the end of a round is already more than enough. Several contract system changes made to reduce their disruptiveness to matches and make them more enjoyable to do. What are you talking about? Since when are contracts disruptive? Other than like someone begging someone to go like, please don't cap. Like, please, no, don't cap yet. I want to keep playing. Because contracts, believe it or not, functioned better with a system like quick play because you never had to worry about your playtime getting cut short. So whenever you had like an upward contract or a high tower contract, you didn't have to beg people to not cap the objective because the server was going to reset and force everyone out. You just got to keep playing. So the disruptive nature of contracts mostly exists because of the existence of the matchmaking system and players going out of their way to like desperately finish their contract before the server fucking resets. If the servers aren't resetting every 5 goddamn minutes, then contracts are no longer disruptive because they then fall into the background more. Because if you have 45 minutes of playtime, oh, I have this contract going, but I'm not pressured into finishing it for 5 minutes, so I can just keep playing normally while also doing my contract. So there's no point in simplifying the contracts or making them have lower specificity for class, map, or weapon. Just bringing back quick play would eliminate whatever disruptiveness they have in the current system. This can't possibly get worse. Oh boy. Removed flinching? Yes, let's make snipers even more oppressive. What are you smoking, dude? You've got to be kidding. This is 100% bait now. 100% bait. There is no way you actually think removing flinching is a good idea. Now snipers just can't be stopped. Like, envision a sniper with the Darwin's Danger Shield just getting torched by a Pyro, not flinching at all, and you can just insta-kill him because his aim isn't getting fucked up. Holy fuck. Made the freeze cam extend to 5 seconds before your death? So you can see how you died? No, I like it. Well, I like seeing the freeze cam after I die because I get funny ragdolls. This is much worse than Grouch's video from a year ago. This is way worse. We're not even at like the actual balance changes, dude. Point acquisition changes? Removed support points. What the fuck is medic gonna do? What do you mean remove support points? Support is we have an entire section of classes called support classes. Why are you removing points associated with teamwork? Support is like one of the biggest aspects of gameplay. Extinguishing players, helping engineers upgrade their buildings, medics healing you, pyros extinguishing you, all of these things count as teamwork. Genetically modified posts to make me angry. I'm getting pissed. This is insane. Oh, I gotta calm down. I'm getting angrier. Getting a revenge grants 0 points. Why? What the fuck do you mean? Like, okay. Talk about salty. Someone got dominated one too many times in the game and gets angry when his domination gets removed. Oh, I've been dominating you? Well, you don't deserve a point if you kill me because I'm the better player than you. You don't get a point if you kill me and remove my domination on you. That is so fucking petty. That is so petty. You'd think a player should be rewarded for killing the guy that's dominating them. Is this real or rage bait? Dude, I don't even know anymore. I don't know anymore. Like, with the level of effort put into this, if this is rage bait, if this is a shit post, hats off, because that's an insane amount of effort. Is it rage bait? Please, is it rage bait? She thinks it's rage bait. I think she thinks it's rage bait. Is this real? Is this real? Is it real? We don't know. Removed the ability to gain points during setup. Also a bad idea, because you want to encourage medics to start healing. What do you, and also points don't really fucking matter that much. What is it? Fucking, whose line is it anyway? Everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's kind of what TF2 is. God forbid a spy main from balancing ever again. Starry Crow, I need to like phone, I need to phone Starry. I have to like phone a friend. Can I get him in here? Buddy, help me get through this. This guy's making spy mains look bad. I need a voice of reason to come in here right now. I'm using my phone a friend lifeline. I'm playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Is this rage bait or is it not? I don't know the answer to this question. I've eliminated options C and D. I have A and B, yes or no. I need to phone a friend. I need a fucking second opinion. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. What's their reasoning? Support points removed because they don't affect the score and are assigned arbitrarily? No, they're not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like specific actions grant you support points. The ability to gain points during setup removed because you're not doing anything. What the fuck do you mean you're not doing anything? If you're an engineer and you're building a dispenser for your team, and like, let's say someone takes fall damage on the way to the point or on the way to the staging area, and oh shit, I have to top up my health. Like, okay, here's the dispenser. Oh shit, you're helping them get ready to fight. If you're a medic overhealing people in preparation for the initial fight, that should be granted to you as support points. What the fuck do you mean? You're not doing anything. Revenge on someone who is wiping the floor with you is not an opportunity for the mop to show off how moist it is. This is 100% bait. This is 100% rage bait, man. Oh my God. I knew this came from a place of pettiness. I knew this came from a place of pettiness. If this guy's being serious, dude, if you're being serious right now, oh my God, you need to just get your head out of your ass. It's not that serious. If someone gets revenge on you, they fucking earned it. They wiped the floor with your ass. So take it like a fucking champ and move on. Pyro, extinguishing a teammate with air blast grants a half point? Why are we mincing points? Why a half a point? Reflect killing an enemy grants an additional 1 point. Sure? If you think this is horrific already, the weapon change is going to give you an aneurysm. Oh boy, I can't wait. Healing yourself with any food item grants 0 points. Reasoning gluttony is a deadly sin. Okay, that's funny. I appreciate the humor there. But using something to improve your efficacy in battle, who cares if it gives you a point or not? I don't see an issue. Engineer, destroying a sapper grants 0 points. Why? You're not to be rewarded for salvaging your original mistake. What the fuck are you smoking? You should be rewarded for dealing with the class that is specifically designed to counter you. You can 100% tell this guy is a spy main, because he gets salty that someone earns a point over him for having his sapper knocked off an engineer's building. Really? The fuck you mean mistake? If they knocked a sapper off his building, it probably means you fucking died. You made the mistake, not the engineer. Or you let a pyro kill you because you didn't take into account if someone was close to the buildings and you fucked up your sap timing. Sounds like a skill issue. If you get this upset about an engineer being rewarded for knocking off your sapper, oh my God. Payload changes. 2 points given to the cart pusher upon it reaching a point. 1 point given to the player that resets the rollback counter on the cart. 1 point given for every 30 seconds of pushing the cart. Payload scoring delineated to more properly reflect effort and discourage leeching points off the cart. Who cares? Who cares? Who fucking cares about leeching points? Who gives a fuck? Like, if this is for competitive play where like points go towards like getting your gold medal, fine, fuck it. But like in the normal game, who cares? If I kill a sniper, plus 5 points, please and thank you. In my ideal world, in my balance mod, killing a sniper gives you 30 points. Killing a sniper grants you an instant plushie in the mail to your doorstep. If I had the perfect world, killing a sniper, free plushies for every sniper killed. You're gonna have your house full of them. You're gonna have 50 of these fucking things by the end of the night. That's what's gonna happen. Game mode changes. Removed competitive, thank God, and replaced its position in the game mode selection menu with that of community servers. Removed humiliation. The fuck do you mean remove humiliation? Oh, right. For those of you that don't know, the 15 seconds at the end of a round where the winning team gets to kill the losing team, that's called humiliation. Why remove it? That's fun. Like, are you get mad that you have to sit there for 15 seconds because you lost and have like a heavy crit punch you to death? Like, is that the issue? I just woke up, night shift schedule, and I already need vodka to make it through this, dude. I'm gonna have, I need something strong too. This is, we're not even at like balance changes yet. TF2 is not designed around being a competitive game, which is true, and the resulting complete lack of interest for competitive should no longer be propped up at the expense of community servers, also true, nor be a major consideration in balancing. Humiliation removed because it is disgusting and wastes time. You have a phone, don't you? We'll use the youngins' logic against them. You have a phone, don't you? Just like scroll Twitter for 15 seconds. That's all you have to do. Just pull up Twitter. Just do that real quick. There we go. Ooh, hello. Are we good? We can keep playing. Awesome. Saying TF2 wasn't meant to be competitive will also keep matchmaking and making explicitly competitive changes. Sure, buddy. Yeah, it's some pretty insane contradictions here. Like, TF2's not meant to be a competitive game, but we're gonna keep skill-based matchmaking. Control points. 3 CP timer can only be increased 4 times. No! I like my infinite games. Fuck off. I don't care if I have a 45-minute timer and then the entire game is only 1 round. I don't give a shit. It is fun. The push-pull endless battle on fucking Powerhouse or 5 control point is fun. You hate fun. You are anti-fun. In competitive 6s, that's not fun. But for like the normal vanilla game, like, yes, this guy hates Powerhouse. He has driven a vampire wooden stake through the heart of Powerhouse, and that makes me angry. That is my favorite fucking map. How dare you? The team with more captures will be declared the winner of in the case of a stalemate. No, just keep playing. Just keep fucking playing. Who cares? Rounds on this game mode sometimes turn into very long back and forths if they manage to persist at all, and reducing the number of timer additions will at least make them into reasonably long back and forths. An additional win condition added because no one likes stalemates. Just keep playing until someone wins. Doubled the time on King of the Hill. Reasoning. While we understand the need for a quicker game mode, Koth takes it to an extreme, one which you can definitely feel when the duration is comparable to a queue. Then just remove the goddamn matchmaking system! Remove the fucking win-loss condition, which is something you do! You remove the win-loss condition! You have a 45-minute fucking map timer! You can play for as many rounds as you want to! So why double the timer? It makes no sense! 3 minute timers for both teams for a total of 6 minutes without overtime is plenty for a single round of King of the Hill. And you can just play round after round after round without interruption. That is how it has been since 2009 with no issues. None. Playtime only became a problem when they put the fucking matchmaking system in the game. God damn it. Capture the flag. Remove crits on cap. No, fuck you. No. Crits on cap is good. They're fun. I don't care what anyone fucking says. Keep crits on cap. Added an intel passing off cooldown lasting 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then 60 seconds respectively. After the first action of passing off the intel to another player, the cooldown resets upon death. Crits on cap removed as they don't really do anything except give the capping team a few free kills. No, fuck off, it's fun. Keep that in. The intel pass-off delay was added to prevent drop pickup voice line spam. Buddy, is it that big of a deal if someone is gloating that they have your intelligence for a few seconds? It's not that big of a deal. No fucking fun allowed. No fun allowed. Oh my God. Stop it. MGE. They added MGE. Added class-wide features with, things like ammo mod, air shot only, flare only, headshots only. We really don't need more game modes in Team Fortress 2. We really don't. We have MGE servers. There's always going to be a populated one inside the server browser. There still is to this day. It's really unnecessary to spread the player base even thinner by adding another game mode category. Just no, we don't need this. Community servers exist for a reason. Just send traffic back to the servers that exist. For those of you that don't know what MGE and or My Gaming Edge is 1v1, basically 1v1 on one area of the map that's typically used to just, improve aim, more or less. It is fun. Like MGE is fun. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, me not wanting it in the vanilla game, it doesn't mean that MGE isn't fun, but it just doesn't have a place in the vanilla game. Let's see. Audio visual, main menu, added the option to add custom character cutouts and backgrounds. Okay, so you can customize your stuff. Removed streaming, coaching, advertised, and new user forum elements. I don't see an issue by, like, the featured streamers tab has never been used. Has anyone ever used the streamer tab to actually go to someone's Twitch stream? Overwhelmingly no. Also, it's broken. No one fucking uses this. Ever. And the only reason why they added it is because at the time, the majority of TF2 streams were, guess what? Competitive. Mostly competitive games and mostly competitive players. Those were the big streamers in the 2014-2015 era of TF2 when they were pushing for these changes to the game because they wanted to boost more visibility for competitive TF2, which no one really cared about. No one gave a fuck these guys were streaming competitive TF2. They just want to, like, what's the thing you want to do? When you open the video game, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to watch someone else play the video game. No, you're opening the game to play the game. It makes no sense. Hence, no one uses it. This is the reading equivalent of drinking drinking salt water. Yeah, a little bit. I used it several times, but pressed accidentally. Yeah, there you go. Miscellaneous. General changes. Networking. Don't really care. Backpack. Unlimited backpack slots, because Counter-Strike basically has unlimited backpack slots at this point, so why doesn't TF2 have them? Added item grouping by type, sure. Added the ability to lock items and pages in place, that's fine. Added customizable multi-level sacks to organize your items with, so basically storage containers like we have in Counter-Strike. Removed the ability to delete items that are given to you by the game, such as the Contractor, Soul Gargoyle, of Mercenary Badge, achievement items, and cosmetic items. These items occupy a specialized section within the backpack. I believe that items given to you by the game, other than random drops, you know, things like achievement items, the Soul Gargoyle, those should not take up an inventory slot. Those should just like be there, right, forever. Manco line? Removed bitter taste of defeat and lime and pink as hell from circulation. Okay, this mod is immediately, okay. I take back everything I've just said. I take back everything I've said about this fucking mod. Every negative point I have ever said, this is now the greatest mod in existence. This is now the best fucking rebalance mod. This is the best rectification, the best rebalance, the best revisioning of Team Fortress 2 I have ever seen in my life. That the removal of pink and lime paint immediately makes this better than any other TF2 mod or hypothetical mod in fucking existence. Even better than the vanilla game, 100%. Instant improvement, 100% immediate 180 turn, gem. Instant gem. Restricted most holiday cosmetics with anything above minimal theming to respective holidays. Yes, like Christmas, like there should have been a Christmas restriction. Seriously. And also the removal of Halloween restrictions on most Halloween items makes no sense. But then again, things are so unrestricted now, just like remove the restrictions altogether. You could go the other way with this if you wanted to. Restricted cosmetic paint regions to reasonable sizes and placements. 100% agree, because some awful paint regions in the game. Added the ability to disable cosmetics. Thank you. If I want to turn off fucking hats, if I don't want to see your fucking dog shit unusuals, I want to turn them off. Added the ability to disable war paints and decorative weapon skins, that's fine. Added the ability to reorder strange parts. I'm assuming move them around in the order in which they're applied onto the weapon. Added tools of the trade pack, a toolbox containing one festivizer, one paint can, one decal tool, one name tag, one description tag, one transfer tool, gift wrap, gift to pult, twice as rare as cosmetic drops? Sure, I guess. And brought back Halloween spells. No, these can stay gone. We don't need more visual noise clogging the game. Granted, I can turn them off if I want to, but those that want to keep them on, we don't need more server lagging reasons. Brought back Halloween spells because they're charming. Meh. Bish bosh. Remade the tutorial. Good. Like the tutorial 1 is not finished and needs to be fleshed out. Thank God. That's like that is like an objective problem with TF2 is that the tutorial is terrible and basically doesn't give any information for the player other than the absolute basics for 4 classes, which sucks. Remade the community server browser. There's nothing wrong with the server browser. There's really not. The server browser is already immaculately simple. The server browser is fucking idiot proof. It really is. Just make the font bigger. That's all you have to do. Make the font a little bit bigger for the server browser, and that's really all you need to do. And then maybe add a drop-down menu so you don't have to put the map prefix in when searching for a map. That's really all it needs. Oh boy. All right. The real fun begins. The real fun begins here. I'm gonna go in the order in which they appear. I am mildly terrified. All class first. Made damage ramp up and fall off based on projectile origin instead of shooter position. This I disagree with, because this would end up being a massive nerf to Soldier and basically a lot of other weapons in the game. This is a horrible idea. So, for those of you that don't know, the closer you are to your rocket, the more damage it's going to do, regardless of where you fired it. Yeah, so soldier bombing is basically rendered completely ineffective. It's a massive nerf. I think it's a terrible idea. And this would also make the Beggar's Bazooka even worse. Like, the Beggar's is good, don't get me wrong. In the right hands, it's fucking powerful, but it would massive nerfs. It would also render the airstrike 100% useless. The airstrike would become even worse than it is now. Because like the only way you can make the airstrike work is with bombing, is by firing your rockets and then landing on your enemy before they reach them, right? So you can like maximize the ramp up and actually deal some damage. Reasoning: distance from the shooter could previously increase or reduce damage, causing inconsistencies. No, not if you know how to. If you play the game, it's not inconsistent. If you know if you see the soldier close to you, his rocket's gonna hurt you. Damage matches the projectile's travel distance and behaves as expected. If you play the game, you know how rockets are gonna behave. Scout. Shortstop. Is this like fucking AI generated? What? What's wrong with it? Why did you change the appearance? Remove the push, sure, it's useless. Added self-knockback akin to 50% of the force of nature's per shot self-knockback? What? Activated on alternate fire, changes the model to make it look like in line with other scatterguns. Alt fire to expel bullets at an unprecedented velocity to gain self-knockback. So they basically gave it a force of nature jump? Just revert it! Just put it back to how it was on launch. It was, hold on, not exactly on launch. I forget the exact iteration I'm thinking of. But there was an earlier version of the shortstop that was totally fine. Put the reload speed back, first of all. If you gave it the same reload speed as the pistol, it would still be weaker than the stock scattergun. Yeah, put the reload back to the pistol. I think it was fine. You don't need, the version with the healing bonus was pretty strong. Yeah, we don't need the knockback penalty. Remove the knockback penalty. I think it's really stupid. Speed up the reload, and the gun would be so much better. That's really all it needs. I love the shortstop. I think it's really fun. It's just consistently a little bit weaker than all the other scatterguns. And for me, the biggest problem, hold on, I'm starting my game. Okay, so ignore my FOV being kind of borked, but like, this is my problem, okay? Now it's reloaded. It's so, oh, I hate that shit. Like, oh, bullets go in and done. It has this like half-second delay before it's actually reloaded. It is so fucking frustrating. Oh, I hate that shit. And the syringe gun has that visual mismatch too. Just speeding it up by a little bit would make it so much better. It's like the buff it needs. Like, you don't even need to adjust the bullet spread, which I think would be kind of nice to make it a little bit more narrow. But, you know, just buffing the reload speed would make this thing far more on par with the other scatterguns. And even then, it would still be weaker. Because even if you're fucking humping somebody, like if you're huffing someone's farts, this amount of damage is not going to be outmatched. It's still going to be fucking outpaced by the scattergun. Until you need to reload the scattergun. The DPS will still be higher if it had pistol reload speed. So just fix the reload speed. Like, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Bullets go in, and not reloaded, sorry. Oh, bullets go in, sorry, not reloaded. This is so fucking annoying. That's the main change it needs. Also, this looks AI generated. It doesn't need to look like a scattergun. It's not a scattergun. It's meant to look like a pepper gun. It's fine. I love the model. You don't need to change it. Like, if I could have any weapon 3D printed in my possession, I would like a fucking shortstop. It's cool. Babyface's blaster, okay. Plus 15 increased run speed. So it's just, this is just a buff to Scout. Scout just always runs faster now when using this gun. Okay, so 4 shots, Scout always runs faster with a 20% damage penalty. So what Scout would not use this? For me, the best version of the Babyface's blaster was the one before they nerfed it to like make Scout not outrun his hitbox. Even though that was never a problem. No, yeah, tons of people believed that Scout was outrunning his hitbox, and that's why Valve nerfed it. No, massive myth. No, yeah, and yeah, the shortstop is based on a real gun, which has a handful of variants made to use shotgun shells. No, yeah, there's a version of it in The Matrix Reloaded. Anyway, yeah, you've made it more boring, and then you just made Scout run faster all the time, which is, in my opinion, not a good thing. Scout just having free movement speed whenever, with not that much of a punishment. I think just putting the Babyface's blaster back to a previous version would be totally fine. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. I think the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol is, what the fuck? More health per shot? What are you smoking? Health gain delayed by 5 seconds? What? Health gain condition changed because it's unfair and annoying to fight a healing enemy. Massive health gain buff to make the offset the nerf because the weapon is weak in its current state. I think the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol is totally fine. You don't need to change it at all. Yes, double the amount of health you get back per shot with the same faster firing speed, but then you delayed the health gained by 5 seconds? That's so fucking weird. So like you land all the shots and you have to stay alive for 5 more seconds and then you get the health back? 5 seconds is a long time in TF2. All these nerfs just make them easier to fight a spy. It certainly seems like it's leaning in that direction, but I think this is actually a nerf. Like, the extra health doesn't matter when you're usually whipping it out in a desperate situation other than trying to finish someone off. Because if the health gain is delayed by 5 seconds, you have to stay alive long enough for that health to suddenly appear. Mad Milk. I think the Mad Milk is a little bit strong, but considering how most people use it, I really don't see it as that much of an issue. Leaving it the way it is fine. What did they do? Increase the cooldown reduction from extinguishing enemies from 20% to 37.5%. Health is restored upon enemy death, assists included. Okay, so now you have to actually kill the person to get any of the health back. It's a pretty heavy nerf, like a really, really heavy nerf. You have to actually get the kill in order to get the health back, but if you're attacking someone with full health, it's rendered useless if you kill them before they can do any damage to you. That's a massive nerf that renders it useless most of the time. Moreover, if you're attacking someone, right? If you're attacking someone and then they're killed by someone else, is that damage kept track of and then given back to you after that person dies? That makes it wildly inconsistent. I don't like that at all. If anything, it's going to confuse players even more because, okay, you throw this into a crowd of players and you deal damage, right? And like, okay, you now have to keep track of all the damage you've dealt to multiple people or one person and hope they die in order for all of that effort to come into fruition. And then if they don't die, you're just fucked. And the Mad Milk was rendered useless. I am not a fan of this nerf at all. I think it's a terrible idea. I think the way the Mad Milk works now, while it is very strong, it's not that strong. I still see more people running the pistol over the Mad Milk. You're not going to ever get this game into a perfectly balanced state. It's okay to have some weapons that are weaker or stronger than others. Given how many weapons we have in the game now, this is unavoidable. What's important is making them fun and responsive and engaging, and having the health restored upon enemy death removes all of that. It's no longer fun, it's no longer responsive, it's no longer engaging, because you don't get the immediacy of getting that health back until after they die. But if you didn't take any damage, you're not rewarded in any way for using the item at all. It's no longer fun. Flying guillotine, removed bleed. Then what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? Why remove the bleed? There's absolutely no point. You've just turned this into a DPS weapon. The point is to have the bleed. This guy just... obvious spy main thing here. Damage over time replaced with direct damage up to a point to boost engagement in fighting against the weapon. Remove the random crit exception because there are no longer random crits. Sure, stupid, but no, I think it's, no, just leave it the way it is. Flying guillotine's fine. You don't need to change the guillotine. The guillotine is in a totally fine condition, doesn't need to be changed. We'll get to the Sandman in a minute, and I'll explain what I think is a better idea there. Candy Cane, removed 25% explosive damage vulnerability on wearer. This is now just a direct upgrade. This is now a direct upgrade to the stock bat. Why would anyone ever use this over anything else? You just get free health when you kill somebody. This is now the best melee for Scout always. You gotta have something there to balance this out. I still have not come up with a good idea to make the current version of the Candy Cane not shit. Like, it's good to have some things that are stronger. Like, even in some instances, a direct upgrade can be fine, like the 3rd degree, because it's very gimmicky. But like, this is really strong. No other melee would ever be used. And this is also now better than the Mad Milk, I guess, because like it doesn't wear off. The pack will just stay. I don't know, man. Maybe make it 15% explosive damage vulnerability so you don't get one-tapped by a grenade. Just maybe drop this a little bit so like a single rocket or a single pipe can't one-tap you, but it still drains most of your health. I think that would be better, so it still has some kind of downside. Something to that effect. Moving on. Boston Basher, removed bleed. Why? Increased base damage from 35 to 60. It's now just a better stock melee. Does 40 self damage on miss. The fuck? No, the Boston Basher, the bleed is fine. Boston Basher is fine. Has it ever been changed? I don't even know if the Boston Basher's ever been changed. No, the balancing of the Boston Basher has been the same since day one. It has not received a single change since it's been added. I don't think anyone has ever had an issue with the Boston Basher. This guy just doesn't like bleed because it reveals cloaked spies. Talk about making this really fucking boring. Awful. Leave the Boston Basher the way it is. Sorry. The Sun on a Stick is in desperate need for some kind of changes. What did they do? On hit, ignite target for 2 seconds. A scout being able to set someone on fire is just gonna make him even more annoying. Imagine a scout just being able to run at you, set you on fire. Ugh. Removed plus 25 fire damage resistance while deployed. Changed minus 25% damage penalty to minus 50% damage penalty versus non-burning players. So you can just chain free crits basically with this thing. What is that? So that's 50%. So your swings go from 35 damage to 16 because the game rounds your damage up. So, sorry, what's 30? So 15, 17, so sorry, 18. Your swings go to 18 damage, and then a crit is gonna bring that to what, 54? Basically for free, continuously, after the first swing. So you've basically made a direct upgrade because you don't have random crits anymore. Since you've removed random crits, this is now a direct upgrade to the stock bat in basically every situation. Shifted from a useless to a consecutive hit combo weapon. It's not really a combo weapon if only the first swing matters to get the bonus damage. Moreover, a 2-second window is pretty big in TF2. Well, no, so the 50% damage penalty versus non-burning players. Oh, so then it just has full damage again. So you just get 90 damage swings continuously. Yeah, maybe make it do what I just said, which is just minus 50% damage penalty all the time, but even then it would still be a direct upgrade because it would still be always doing more damage after the first swing without random crits in this revisioning of TF2. Terrible idea. Fan of War. Added the weapon holsters 50% faster, reduced damage penalty from 75 to minus 50. I think the current Fan of War is fine. This doesn't really make it that much more appealing to use. This is the fun combo. This is the fun combo melee. You know what I like to do? I like smacking someone with this thing and then one-tapping them with a Force of Nature. It's super fun doing that. Definitely the least used of Scout's melees next to the candy cane, but I think it's fine. I don't see any necessary changes to this at all. I think leaving the Fan of War as is fine. It doesn't need a damage buff, and the holstering faster feels kind of unnecessary. Rap Assassin, removed bleed because why not, and then just made it a straight damage weapon. Why? Why? No, the Rap Assassin's fun. I know you don't like bleed. I know you don't like bleed because spy mains don't like being revealed after getting cloaked, but oh my god, no, the Rap Assassin's fine. It's fun. It's so fun comboing Rap Assassin Cleaver. You made the Rap Assassin and Cleaver infinitely less fun because now it's just straight spam DM weapons that have like a big chunk of damage done to somebody. Blah. Exclusions. So they removed the Force of Nature? Why? Why? Why would you do that? Massive bursts of damage disproportionately punish light classes. Oh, boo fucking who? The scout gets close to you, which is what he's supposed to do. And he's got 2 shots, and so if he misses, he's punished by the longer reload. Holy cow. Really? Seriously? That's insane. That's fucking crazy. Why would you remove the Force of Nature? This is horrible. And the Soda Popper, and the Backscatter, the Critical and Sandman I could see arguments for, but why would you remove these? These are fine. Like, sure, the Backscatter could use a little bit of a buff, maybe, but like, why remove these? These are fine, these are fun. I fucking love the Force of Nature. What are you smoking? Soda Popper would serve as a replacement for the Force of Nature. The other upsides see basically no use, and it has an accumulation issue. The fuck do you mean There's a reason why you basically never see these used. Let alone the fucking Babyface's blaster or shortstop, because the stock fucking scattergun is the best consistently all the time. There's nothing wrong with leaving these in the game at all. Criticola. Reasoning, entirely built around an accumulation issue. Mini crits cannot be reasonably predicted. The fuck do you mean reasonably predicted? The scout is running at you with a glowing gun. So did he remove anything that has recharges? No, okay, so so you can't make the argument of accumulation issue when you leave the mad milk in the game, because how am I supposed to predict when someone is gonna be able to get their health back after they kill me? With the Mad Milk, because that has a recharge. You left the Bonk Atomic Punch in the game without any changes. How can I predict when that's done recharging? What the fuck do you mean accumulation issue? It's like fine if I can't like you can't. Oh, this is making me so mad. God forbid you can't predict everything down to the T. Oh my god, this is already way, like, at least Grouch's balance mod was fun. This is just making me mad. Like, some of Grouch's rebalance ideas were like creative and like, and pulling something way out of pocket, and like were absolutely insane, like what he did to the scored shot. That's fun. This sucks. Like, this isn't even fun anymore. I'm angry. Backscatter. Spy is the only class that can utilize that mechanic reliably. Blurs class lines. What the fuck do you mean blurs class lines? The scout is meant to be the forward flanking class, rewarding the fucking class that is meant to flank and get behind people with a gun that does more damage from behind makes the absolute most sense. What do you mean blurs class lines? Only the spy should be able to do damage from behind. This doesn't blur class lines? A scout being able to set someone on fire? What do you mean doesn't blur class lines? You can still let him set someone on fire? What the fuck? Be consistent. Please, be consistent. Sandman, entirely built around inhibiting movement, also useless. Like, okay, I agree that the slowdown on the Sandman is incredibly annoying. I think the Sandman needs to be reworked, not removed. Like, if there's any candidate to be turned into a straight DM weapon, it's the Sandman. Just let this do 40 damage. Like, let the Sandman do what this version of the Rap Assassin does. That's all you need. Just make the Sandman do this, and you're good. Except the minus 65 damage penalty sucks. Just like remove that, and then get like the minus 15 max health. That's like something that's at least better than just removing it. Like, my idea isn't the best, obviously, but at least you keep it and make it more useful and fun than how it is now, instead of just removing it. Or yeah, just make the Sandman the brick from TF2 Classified. And I'm not saying that's the best idea, but it's at least something better than it is now, and not just cutting it out of the game. Like, the Sandman's fucking iconic. The Force of Nature's iconic. These were like some of the first weapons added into the game, and you're just like, fuck it, remove them? Why? That was just the scout. That was just the scout. Oh my god. Okay. I need to like, oh my god, we have 8 more to go. We have 8 more to go. Oh god. We have 8 more to go. I'm exhausted already. Oh Jesus. Rocket launchers. Reduced? I can't talk now. Reduced self-damage done to the lower half of the body by 40% and kept the same self-knockback? You're wanting more consistency, but you're introducing more inconsistency by having this new additional gimmick of more or less self-damage based on the angle of where you're firing your fucking rocket launcher. Most players are not going to be able to consistently keep track of that, sorry. And also, you want the gunboats for free, basically. You want the gunboats for free. That's what this is. Reduced rocket blast radius by 20% and scaled damage accordingly? Reduced blast radius by 20%, so we're nerfing Soldier even more, but also making him more mobile for free, and then scale damage accordingly. Rocket blast radius reduced to raise the skill floor of the weapon type. Oh my god, so just too easy. Yes, Soldier is easy, but that's okay. It's okay. You don't need to nerf him more. The nerf that he needed was when they no longer allowed for rockets to pass through teammates after a certain distance. That was the nerf that was needed to really cut down on spam. I'm scared because he changes it. I know he does. Health, the black box, okay. Health gained per hit increased from 20 to 25. Sure. Health is restored upon enemy death. Okay. Well, okay, great. Fantastic. So, if it happens within 6 seconds of them taking the damage, this is gonna have the same problem with the Mad Milk. It makes the weapon infinitely less fun, way less responsive, and way more annoyingly inconsistent. Because like, okay, if you don't kill someone, then like, okay, the entire upside of the weapon is never realized. And you're just punished by having one less rocket all the time. Who the fuck would use this? Because unless you manage to secure the kill, you're always using a weaker rocket launcher. Here's the matchup, right? You're automatically putting yourself at a greater disadvantage by having one less shot in your clip. If you're outskilled by the other person, by raw skill, you're fucked, right? And you're at a disadvantage. You have no situational upside whatsoever by using this weapon unless you secure the kill. It's horrible. Why would you ever use this? How did they change the Liberty Launcher? Oh god. Added the weapon deploys 30% faster, holsters 40% faster, and reduced the damage penalty, and then remove the minus 25% blast damage while rocket jumping. So he just made it a better combo weapon, I suppose. A 5% increase in damage, probably the only thing the current iteration needs out of these three. This is not how I would change it. It makes it pretty strong now because being able to like pop someone up in the air with basically the same efficacy with reduced damage for more frequent combos, I think this would be pretty fucking strong. It's okay, but I still think this would be pretty strong. This version of the Liberty Launcher, I guess, this would merit some experimentation. This isn't the worst, but I think having the deploy and holster faster, I think is probably too strong for any rocket launcher. I think just having the damage penalty reduced a little bit would put it into a better position. I'm iffy on this. It would need to be experimented with, but I still think this might be a little bit too strong. Battalion's backup increased the resistance from all sources from 35 to 40 and added a 10% explosive damage vulnerability on the wearer. Okay, that basically amounts to nothing. This mostly offsets the plus 20 health you get from wearing it, and then buffing the resistance from 35 to 40, this is like almost a straight upgrade. This is almost a straight buff. This is really, really strong. I think the Battalion's backup is totally fine. It doesn't need anything. You're already sacrificing a shotgun, which is more of a downside, or sorry, you're already sacrificing the gunboats, because the gunboats are Soldier's best secondary objectively in terms of increasing his mobility. So you're already sacrificing the gunboats or a shotgun in favor of a banner. That's already a massive sacrifice. Plus you're getting plus you're getting plus 20 max health and 35% resistance against all sources while active and having sentry damage. I made a whole video about why this is like the best item in the game. It is so strong already, and just adding this slight nerf with even more damage resistance, it's still like makes it into like the too good category. The Battalion's backup as is fine and really doesn't need any tweaking. Damage resistance buff serves to offset the nerf, then like why have it in the first place? Conjurer added 6% only 6. Why 6%? Added 6% explosive damage vulnerability on the wearer. That's it? Like, okay, the Conjurer already, in my opinion, is the weakest of the banners because mini crits are insanely powerful. The Battalion's speaks for itself. The Conjurer is the weakest because it kind of requires the highest amount of team coordination in order, and player skill in order to make the most use out of it, because it's health on hit and also buff banners, damage on hit, obviously. Why nerf it? It doesn't really need a nerf. Like, the only instance I could see where it's kind of annoying is where you're pairing this with the black box, but even then, it's so easy to punish a soldier for running black box conch by just playing Pyro and stuffing it back up his ass. And if you really wanted to nerf it, it's because it only requires 400 damage to charge. Or 480, sorry. It only requires 480 damage to charge. So you get to use it more often. And because your typical player lifespan is so short in Team Fortress 2, both the buff banner and the Battalion's backup charges are so infrequently realized that players tend to gravitate towards the Conjurer because they can use it more often. That's why players like it. It's not that it's like the best option in terms of what it grants you in return, it's just that you get to use it more often. And nerfing it, you don't really need to do that. Bison, buff the fuck out of it. If you do anything other than buff the fuck, no, fuck you, no, just, God damn it, why do you remove the one fun thing about it? Why do you remove like the only reason why people would use the fucking Bison? The point of using it is that it penetrates players. That is the fun aspect of the goddamn Bison, is that you can spam this thing and have it go through people. Why would you do this? The fuck is wrong with you? You made it boring. What you've done is you've made it boring. You gave it what it needed, was faster projectile speed. That's what it needed to do, was move faster, but then you remove like the one gimmick that makes it fun. What the fuck? I'm mad. Why? If you just put your finger over the removed projectile penetration, and also it doesn't need to deal damage to buildings, then it'd be fine. Just make the projectile speed faster and make it deal maybe a little bit more damage. Like base damage from 20 to 55 is insane. Just let it penetrate players. It's fine. Just fucking revert it. Put it back. Put it back to how it was before Valve nerfed it for no goddamn reason because they don't play their own goddamn game. If there's any more proof that Valve was not playing Team Fortress 2 when they pushed out Meet Your Match, look no further than the fucking Bison. Remember, do not forget. They said that player penetration was a bug, despite one of the in-game tips on your fucking screen 4 years before that point saying that it penetrates players. Should have never been nerfed. Put it back. Anything less is wrong. Have Satoichi. Changed gain 50% of base health on kill to 100%? Remove the weapon to... What? Remove the weapon deploys and holster slower. Removed increased range. Removed no random crits? What the fuck are you smoke? Why you just buff the shit out of this thing? Why'd you make it like you made it insanely strong? What? No! Like, the Have Satoichi, as it is right now, is still really good. Buffing the shit out of it is the last thing you want to do. This guy was not here when this thing had random crits. How many of you were here? How many of you were here when the Have Satoichi had random crits? Do you remember how fucking OP that was? Do you remember how insanely strong that was? Read the reasoning. Increased range removed as it's unfair in melee fights. Boo fucking who. Buffed because the upside doesn't justify itself? What do you mean the upside doesn't justify itself? That's so much health with overheal? Huh? Remove the random crit exception because there are no longer random crits. Sure. Still, don't care. I don't care. I keep forgetting he removed random crits, but he said that, remember, in his fucking disclaimer, right? Many of its individual changes could be implemented straight into the current game without relying on others present within. So we have to take each of these things piecemeal. Each of these things compartmentalized, irrelevant of what the rest of the mod is doing. That was his intentions with this. That most, if not all of these individual things could be implemented on their own. So we have to treat it that way. Disciplinary action, removed increased range for enemies. No, fuck you, it's fine. Leave it the way it is. I like the disciplinary action. No one is complaining about the range being too long. Remove the increased range because it's unfair advantage in melee fights. Fuck you. There's also no reason for a team utility to have increased stats against enemies. Exclusions. There is something to be said. There is something to be said about the direct hit fucking with damage thresholds on engineer buildings. Okay? There's absolutely an argument to be made there. It sucks playing engineer and having all your buildings 2-tap by a fucking direct hit. But against other players, there's no issue. Against other players, there's no issue here. You could make an argument for, say, removing the damage bonus against buildings like the TF2 Gold Rush mod did. That was, in my opinion, one of the more agreeable changes, because they also nerfed the Wrangler to not have the triple the health, right? But removing it altogether is fucking insane. It's like one of the most fun and responsive weapons in the game, and you just outright remove it. Why? Cow Mangler. Why? I love the Cow Mangler. It's so fun. You could like twist my arm and say the Groordbort weapons aren't visually acceptable for TF2, like they stick out, whatever. But the Cow Mangler's fine. It's fun. There's like no problem with it. It's a worse version of stock with ineffective spam and a spy cosplaying gimmick. What the fuck do you mean spy cosplaying gimmick? You can disable buildings. Okay, because spy can be the only person that disables buildings. The soldier was, have you listened to the developer commentary? The soldier was literally designed to be the long range answer to the engineer. That is said verbatim in the developer commentary. So if you're gonna remove his ability to destroy sentries, give him something he can use against them. What the fuck do you mean cosplaying as a spy feature, bucko? In practice, a team is very unlikely to coordinate a push when the soldier disables a nest. So remove the sapper! Oh, the team's not gonna coordinate against a disabled sentry gun. Remove the sapper! Remove spy then, fuck it! There's no point! If the team's not gonna coordinate, remove the fucking sapper. There's no need for it. Remove the beggars. Multiple inaccurate projectiles make it so it's used almost exclusively for spam. Decreased control over where the projectiles fire exacerbates the issue. If you're getting consistently killed by someone that can't control where their rockets are going, that is the biggest self-report on skill issue I have ever seen in my fucking life. The motherfucker has to get so close to you that he's like huffing your ball sweat to make sure those rockets hit you. One, he gets that close, is taking self-damage and probably a lot of fall damage too, in order to pull off what the beggars is meant to do. With lower blast radius, mind you. If you're getting consistently killed by a beggars, Massive, massive skill issue. Airstrike, why? The spam potential is arguably earned. It has a major accumulation issue. What the fuck do you mean, accumulation issue? Okay, going back to his argument about accumulation means the weapon is unpredictable. Oh, okay. Not really. You can either have 4 rockets or 8 rockets, and somewhere in between. Not that fucking unpredictable. Goofy balancing. Reserve shooter is just gone. Like my favorite fucking, one of my favorite guns in the game, just remove it. Useless in its current state. What the fuck do you mean useless? And it's overpowered pre-Jungle Inferno. It was used exclusively on Pyro. There's nothing in between those two states that can be done without making it a shotgun clone. What the fuck do you mean? It's not useless. It is literally a direct upgrade for the first 4 shots. It's a direct upgrade for the first 4 shots. There's no damage penalty. You get free bonus damage on people popped into the air with your rockets, and you have faster switching speed. How is it useless? There's reasons why the reserve shooter was banned for years, even after it got nerfed, because it denies rocket jumping soldiers. It's strong. Panic attack, de facto removed in Jungle Inferno and made it into an uninteresting shotgun with more spread. While I agree that the old version of the panic attack was indeed very fun and should have been retained in the game in some fashion, I also think the current version of the weapon is also fun. We can keep that as is, but also find some way to reincorporate the old version of the weapon. I think that would have been a much more agreeable solution, because personally, I think the current panic attack is really fun. I like getting big, fat, meaty shots, playing Pyro with the degreaser. It's great. You don't need to remove it. Why remove the equalizer? Why? Rewards not having health by unfairly surprising the enemy with more damage. If you know what the weapon does, you know that you're taking the risk engaging with this. You have random crits in TF2 anyways, right? If someone whips out the fucking equalizer, right? You don't know how low on health he is. You're not sure how fast he's gonna be moving until he whips it out at you. And he gets random crits. You don't know when you're gonna get a random crit. It'll just fucking one-tap you anyway. The equalizer sucks. It is Soldier's worst melee. It's fun. I fucking love it. You know why? Because there's nothing more fun than walking up to a heavy with 12 health, getting a random crit, and just fucking annihilating him. That shit is so fun. I don't care what anyone says. Do not remove my equalizer. What the fuck? No. Leave it in. There's nothing wrong with it. I really need alcohol. I'm gonna last until 5 o'clock. That's like my happy hour, and then I'll get some fucking alcohol. Pyro. It just keeps going. Listen, can you help me, please? This is awful. I need some fucking help from above. Please help me. I gotta get through this shit. Fuck. Changed afterburn DPS to 5. Changed afterburn duration to a fixed 4 seconds. Why? Changes made to shift Pyro's flames away from passive damage over time to something requiring more input that is more engaging to fight. No, that's the point of Pyro, is that he's meant to ambush you, and you have to deal with his damage over time. You're removing one of the defining aspects of the Pyro that's been in the game since day one. And Valve's attempt to address that was by adjusting the duration of afterburn based on how long you burn someone. The game is already addressing that. It's already rewarding players for being more engaging with their flamethrower by granting them longer afterburn. Obvious spy main change. 100% obvious spy main change. Having always short afterburn. Flamethrowers, oh boy, here we go. Flame particle damage ranged changed from 6.5 to 13 to 3 to 20? What? Ramp up drain resets to 225% of the build rate. So massive. You're more than halving the damage. So if a Pyro gets a jump on you, he's doing half the initial damage, less than half of the initial damage when he first catches you. Obviously, this is another buff made against spies. So if a spy gets caught out, he gets a chance to not have his health deleted, as it should be. And then you have to deal with it. You have to wait for the full ramp up to get you up to 20. And then what the fuck is overheat? Burning builds overheat by 15% per second. Not burning for a half a second and drains overheat. So basically, so no more WM1. WM1 is gone. This punishes you for spamming flames, so basically you can't spy check. So you just can't hold down your flamethrower then walk around. Talk about fucking awful. Just removing Pyro's main thing, which is WM1. Like how he can do most of his damage. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Not only are we halving your initial damage, so the ambush class does less damage to someone when they catch them, but also fuck you. If you can't kill them quickly, well, you can't hold down your gun for much longer. Oh, horrible. Horrible nerfing. Stop it. I'm not even gonna bother reading the reasoning. It's terrible. Air Blast costs 20% less ammo. So, okay. So you take what's arguably the one thing, right? Arguably the one thing that people have the most issue with, make it even more spammable, and make it so you take even less self-damage. Removed the movement control, lost enemies experience while air blasted, removed pitch control. Vertical air blast components reduced by 50% in relation to its pre-jungle inferno state. So you just made air blast more spammable, while also making players affected by air blast not locked in place. Removed pitch control, so you can't like aim it, it's just a box in front of you, I guess. The projectile assisted part of the air blast box is replaced with a truncated cone of the following dimensions. Air blasted projectiles only do the damage to the pyro and the person who originally fired them. Okay, massive nerf to pyro, so you made it more spammable, but basically removed all the damage. So far, we're just massively weakening Pyro with all of these changes. Shocker, coming from a spy main. Oh my god. Okay, moving on. Flare guns. Increased base damage from 30 to 40. 120 damage crits is nuts. Even with your lower afterburn rate. 120 damage crits with this? Why would you ever use anything else? That is insane. You go from being able to one-shot light classes by catching them off guard to basically one-shotting everything that isn't a soldier or heavy. Degreaser. Removed plus 25 air blast cost, added minus 20% damage. So you're nerfing the flamethrower damage output, the initial damage output, and then you're adding a 20. No one would use this. This is now the absolute weakest flamethrower. The degreaser already goes heavily unused. You're not helping this at all. Weapon was always marginally better comboing flamethrower with marginally less damage to boot. Afterburn damage penalty removed due to global afterburn changes. Damage reduction added to shift it from an upgrade to a side grade of stock. Air blast cost penalty removed to offset the damage nerf. Holy shit. Minus 20% damage on a flamethrower? Dude, your initial flame particle is gonna do 2 damage. You have to burn someone for so long for it to even come close to the base damage the flamethrower has now, and the flamethrower is weak. The flamethrower is fucking weak. There's a reason why high-skilled pyros, like expert pyros, still get their shit pushed in by a fresh install engineer or heavy. Good god, the flog. Oh god. Added an alt-fire air blast replacement jolt that disintegrates projectiles and extinguishes teammates. Okay, so instead of reflecting, you just delete projectiles now. Fine. Added a 20 health point cost per alt-fire. No one would use this. You've already made air blast so cheap on all the other flamethrowers, basically making it free. Why would anyone ever use this? Deleting 20 health per alt-fire just to delete projectiles that they could reflect and deal damage on the person shooting at them anyways. No one would use this. Added a veto on Uber charge while crits are active, removed Uber effect from the activation period. Like, I agree that being Ubered while having flog crits needs to be nerfed somehow. I don't know how that could be done, but it needs to be done. But this is insane. 20 health per air blast is crazy. Not enough people talk about how flamethrowers damage got gutted and still hasn't been fixed for years. Yeah, flamethrower damage ramp up has been bugged for years. Flamethrowers should be doing way more damage. But ramp up's been broken because it resets, I think, like way more often than it should. And so you're basically never doing max damage with your flamethrower ever when you're playing Pyro. They still haven't fixed that. Yeah, you did warn me about getting alcohol in the beginning. In the words of Hikita, the Ultra Kill dev, it's a good thing you don't develop Ultra Kill because it would suck. Why TF2 should never be given to the players. Oh boy, here we go. Added a linear bonus damage gradient from 100% to 0% damage from the center of the edges of the projectile hitbox. The hitbox is already so small that margin would practically make no difference. Why have it be overly complicated? It's either gonna do the bonus damage or not if the hitbox connects with the center of mass. Just leave that as is. You don't need to make it more complex. My god, you already missed the 3 times damage already, so why make it even more inconsistent? Sorry, missed a stat on the flog. Cannot be ubercharged while crits are active, fine. Changed oomph build conditions to instead require disintegrating 5 projectiles to fill the bar. That should be in red. That should be in red. You have to delete 100 health. You have to self-delete 100 health to get flong crits. So already you have to be getting pocketed by a medic, and then you can't get Ubered while using this anymore. Utterly useless. Abysmal dog shit. Utterly useless. Holy fuck, dude. Anyways, back to the Dragon's Fury. So the damage gradient goes from 100% to 0%. So it does 33 damage up to 66 damage, okay? Sorry, no, 25. 25 is the base, my bad. 25 is the base. So it goes from 25 to 50, not 75 like it does now. So it's already a nerf. But then you have the added gradient from the center down to the edge, so most of the time, you're always going to be doing less damage to burning players than what you do now. I don't understand why you would nerf the fuck out of this. Now has normal air blast. I think just giving the, I don't know, that this is an argument for another time. Added deals 25% less damage to pyros. Why? Fucking why? Ugh. What do you mean deals less damage to pyros? Remove the minus 66% afterburn damage penalty. It kind of needs this to reward comboing. No, don't do that. It's meant to be good against pyros at the cost of being bad against projectiles. Detonator removes self-damage. Why? Yes, free jumps. Free jumps all the time. Remove the fire effect from the AoE. Thermal thruster. Added instant charge activation. So the instant you click, you fly with no delay. Retained shotgun on mouse 1 with minus 50% clip size and minus 30% damage. So you keep your shotgun? So you keep your shotgun while the thruster is activated. Okay, all right. With half the clip size and minus 30% damage, and you can activate this, there's no delay. So this is just a massive buff. You've basically massively buffed this thing to let Pyro have a shotgun that deals less damage and no delay when you hit the charge. Never give this game to the community, 100%. That's it, we have to make fun of these two people. I think I'm doing a good enough job making fun of this shit. Holy fuck, dude. Like, the thermal thruster can absolutely be changed in that it is simply too slow. It's good if you know how to move with it. I've seen some people do some wild shit with the thermal thruster, but for the typical player, the skill floor on the weapon is really, really high. I think just speeding it up a little bit would more incentivize players to use it. I think that'd be a decent direction to take it in. Flaying shotgun pyro sounds really fun, but also really terrible at the same time. Yeah. Okay, gas passer. Changed acquisition rules to match other throwable liquids. Changed coding so it now also strips overheal and prevents further overheal for the duration of the afterburn? What? Removed lingering gas clouds. So this instantly strips away overheal. As soon as you throw it, no overheal for anybody. That is fucking busted. Changed coding so it no longer removes itself on ignite and instead persists through the duration of the afterburn. Change the duration of applied afterburn from 4 to 10. So for 10 seconds, if they're on fire, no overheal. And it instantly deletes overheal if they take damage. That is insanely strong. You want to make the gas passer better now? Just let players use it and just let them recharge it in resupply lockers. That's all they have to do. And it's just infinitely better than what we have now. You don't need to make this like the overheal deletion weapon. Absolutely insane. Like, do you play this game? Extinguisher changed mini crits on burning target to crits, added mini crits on the user while held out, decreased 33% damage penalty to 18%. Okay, so you're just buffing the fuck out of it in that regard, so it's just massive amounts of damage. Remove damage increase being tied to duration of afterburn, remove the speed boost on kill, remove this weapon holsters 35% slower, remove no random critical hits. Okay, so we have another bout of kind of endless turd polishing. This thing has been adjusted so many times over the years. Personally, I think the current iteration is totally fine now. I don't think it needs to be changed at all. We certainly don't need to go back to 100% crits on burning targets. That's really strong, and only a minus 18% damage penalty on that, with a mini crits only while it's out. It's out for such a short period of time that unless someone else is attacking them other than the person they're focusing, makes it really strong. I think the current version is fine. I don't think it needs to be changed. Power Jack, remove on kill, restores 25 health. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the current Power Jack is very good, but Does this make that much of a difference? Kind of inconsequential. Yeah, and no one uses the power jack to kill. Back scratcher changed plus 50% health from packs on wear to 100%? That's nuts! So basically, medium health kits become full health kits. Change minus 75% health on healers to minus 100%. Remove 25% damage bonus. So basically, any health pack gives you all your health back with nothing else in return. And you can get healed by medics. Super polarizing. I think the current version of the item is fine. Insane amounts of free health. It really is. And also the crossbow still works on this. Yeah, I also like the bonus damage on the back scratcher because just not being able to get healed by a medic is really punishing. Or dispensers, that's really punishing. Super punishing. So even this, I don't think would incentivize people to use it. Even though this is really fucking strong, I don't think this would incentivize people to use it at all, especially if you remove that. Like I think this is the main reason why a lot of people use it, because the plus 50% health, while it's really good, is super offset by just having no healing from medics. This is like the main reason why, actually, the reason why it's not used is this. This stat alone really deters people from wanting to use it, because it just makes like the entire existence of someone on your team not present at all. Oh boy, here we go. You remove the back burner. Why? Why would you remove the back burner? There's nothing wrong with it. Let me guess. It's redundant. It's redundant because only Spy can deal damage from behind. A crutch taken to the extreme. The upside is unreliable and inconsistent, but also free damage. So it's a crutch, but it's unreliable and inconsistent. Okay, way to contradict yourself. And the downside punishes team play. What the fuck do you mean downside punishes team play? Blurs class lines. Because again, only Spy can deal damage from behind. Model obscured by fire and easily mistaken for others. Until you die to it. That last point is really not that much of an issue. Yeah, blurs class lines my bare fucking ass. You know how beneficial it is for a player to not see you in TF2? That guarantees life or death for that player. If they don't catch you, they're fucking dead. For the flank class that is the Pyro, and the flank class that is the Scout, rewarding them for doing their job in an engaging way, and a fun way like getting crits from behind, or mini crits from behind, is fun. It's good. Nothing wrong with those mechanics. Moreover, the increased air blast cost on this really, really fucking punishes you. You cannot air blast with this thing, otherwise you're fucked. He hates WM1, that's why this is gone now. Remove the ambush weapon from the ambush class. Man Melter, useless. Not really. Man Melter is actually pretty fucking good. People just don't use it that often because it's super fucking buggy. If it wasn't buggy, this thing would be seen way more often. Sure, not as good as the flare gun. Sure, not as good as the detonator because it has no mobility, but faster projectile speed, pretty fucking good. Stored crits that you can use whenever you want after you extinguish somebody and getting 20 health without wasting ammo, pretty fucking good. The problem, buggy. Because every time you fire it, your entire screen gets flashbanged. You can't really see when it's like reloaded. Like the little sparks and the audio cue are not that evident. So having a more obvious reload, I made a whole fucking video about this. Having a more obvious reload animation, removing the bugs, making it more clear when you're actually like sucking the fire. Like there should be a little tornado effect that appears in front of the Man Melter, but most of the time it bugs out and you can't see it. So making sure you can actually see when the weapon could actively extinguish someone would make it way more consistent and people would use it more. But if they just fix the bug, like please Valve, for the love of God, if you do anything in the coming MVM update, fix the bugs on the Man Melter. There's no reason why they should still be here. It's been like 12 years, 15 years. Scorched Shot. I'm okay with this. Fuck the Scorched Shot, remove it. Panic Attack. Why? No need. Say the same things as before. Homewrecker, of course, needlessly punishes Spy and worsens chokes. Damage versus buildings is very random and useless stat. I completely disagree. No, I completely disagree. I agree that it's a little punishing against Spies, because it sucks to not only get killed by a Pyro, but then have your sappers removed in 2 swings, make it 3. Sorry, 1 swing, make it 3. Have it still be allowed to remove sappers, just make it more than 1 swing. That's the nerf the fucking Homewrecker needs. 1-hit sapper removal is very strong. Make it 2 or 3 swings. Sharpened Volcano Fragment, I agree, is completely useless. I have not once seen a situation where this could be improved. This has no reason to be in the game. It just sucks. I don't know what they can do to this. I agree with this removal. Like, well, no one uses this. I have not seen this in game in years. Like, maybe once in medieval mode when someone else is playing with them with the extinguisher. And of course, they remove the third degree. What do you mean, arguably worse than the stock despite being a direct upgrade? What the fuck do you mean worse than stock despite being a direct upgrade? You can tell this guy has never played Pyro before. The fucking third degree is awesome. It's so fucking good. Wailing on someone. Talk about a fucking hard counter to the vaccinator. Massive middle finger to the vaccinator. Someone getting pocketed? Bam! One tap. Nothing they can do. Fuck you, you die. I fucking love the third degree. Why would you remove it? Neon Annihilator. Kind of useless because most maps don't have water. You can combo it with a gas passer now, which is good. So it has a bit more versatility, a bit more viability, which is fine. But if you were to buff the gas passer, where it either recharges faster on its own, or you can, get it from a resupply locker, that's fine too, because you can actually like combo with this thing now. I don't think it needs to be removed. I think it's fine. But it being able to remove sappers, why? Why can this remove sappers and have bonus damage when against players when this is meant to be the sapper removal? I feel like this being able to remove sappers was a mistake. Like they accidentally added that on to the Neon Annihilator. It should not be on this weapon, in my opinion. What the fuck did he do to Demo Man? Sticky bomb launchers. Sticky bomb arm time increased from 7 seconds to 1 full second. That is massively punishing. Remember the last time they tried to nerf the sticky spam and player outcries were just like, why the fuck did you do that? Yeah, talk about a massive outcry by nerfing the sticky bomb launcher again. Terrible idea. Sticky bombs also produce noise to indicate their presence. That completely defeats the purpose of the weapon. The point is that you can't see the bloody bombs. You're not supposed to know they're there. Didn't you see the bloody bombs? That's the point of the weapon, is that you can't see or hear them. No, it's meant to be a trap. What the fuck? On hit, instantly reload a pill from reserves. Changed minus 25% clip size to minus 50 and remove the plus 20% damage. Dude, you can just endlessly fire shots over and over again into a choke full of players. That is so fucking broken. Potentially infinite fire into like a sentry nest surrounded by players and completely obliterate them. That is fucking wild. These two that made this are spy mains with only 3.7k hours combined. One started playing in 2023 and the other in 2019. They never experienced anything award. That's certainly indicative of quite a few of their changes being questionable to outright terrible. Yeah, this is really fucking strong. Again, having the potential for infinite fire is nuts on a grenade launcher. Reasoning made the weapon interesting and worth using in comparison to stock by borrowing from the Widowmaker's design. Tell me you don't play fucking Demo Man without telling me you don't play Demo Man. Oh my god, that's so strong, man. Bonus damage against buildings removed as it's a needless punishment to the engineer. So I agree. I think a better way to adjust the damage on the lock and load is just make it a universal 10% damage bonus. So 110 damage shots against everything and then keep everything else the same. Yeah, but this is busted. Hell no. Alibaba's Wee Booties. Remove 10% faster movement speed on the wearer. Shield required. Okay, so they nerfed Demo Knight, okay. A class as tanky as Demo Man should not have a passive speed boost, especially if paired with a great mobility tool that is the charge. Is a 10% faster movement speed that noticeable? Not really. At the same time, it's kind of needed on full Demo Knight, so for me, I don't think it needs to be removed. I don't think that's the issue. Old lock and load, but with a slight damage nerf would be the best. 3 pipes and 2 barrels is something that's been bothering me for years. Yeah, sure, even go back to 2 shots and then have it do 110 damage per shot. Like, even that's still better, okay? Yeah, I don't think nerfing the wee booties is needed. Charge and Targe. Added 30 max health on wearer? Changed alt fire so that opponent demo readies for a charge for 1 second while screaming, total chimp out. I don't think you can say that. Let's walk through this here, okay? Let's carry this through. Plus 30 max health on wearer. So that takes you to 205. Your effective health pool becomes massive, higher than what it is right now using any other sword other than the Islander. So that's a massive buff, huge buff, okay? Then, if you do use this with the Islander, that brings you to what? What is that, 150? That brings you back up to 180 health without the extra heads. And then with all the extra heads, that puts you at like what? I don't know the exact math. That's like what, 260 base health? And then the effective health added on top of that would make you insanely tanky. So like you have, like you're bitching and moaning about like this tanky class being able to move too quickly, but then you have, oh shit, this thing compounded with the Eyelander would be crazy. Health buff added to offset the exclusion of the Eyelander from casual. Oh, he removes the Eyelander. He removes the Eyelander, but even still, plus 30 max health is way too strong. No. Added 25% max health. Same thing as before. You don't really need to change the shields. The shields aren't the issue. The only thing on Demo Night that needs adjusting is the Eyelander. Nerf the Eyelander. Everything else is mostly fine. Minor adjustments here and there with a few other things, but the Eyelander needs a nerf somehow. It's the one thing that needs changing. Tide Turner, same deal. Stupid. I think it's a terrible idea. Claymore removed increased ranged, so you just made it worse. You made the Claymore even more weak, is what you did, because having the 15% damage vulnerability on wearer sucks. So you just made the Claymore worse. Stupid. And he removed increased range on all the swords because having increased melee range in fights is unfair, especially when you just don't have any guns, right? Like when you remove, add a parry. Yes, fuck it, add parry to shields. Why not? Add parry. TF2 really needs a parry in order to survive in the current gaming ecosystem. Okay, so we've nerfed all the swords, basically. Nerfed all the swords, increases health pool by default to a much higher degree. Same have Satoichi change as we saw earlier, which is fucking insanity to have this with potentially random crits on Demo Night. Insane. He gave the Clade random crits. So like in his overall mod, he removes the idea of random crits entirely. But remember, he said at the beginning, we have to consider each of these in a vacuum because these could also be plugged in as individual changes on their own. Envision any Demo Night sword with random crits. So busted. And then he put the gunboats on demo. No, he doesn't need them. Fine without them. Exclusions. No loose cannon. Fuck you. Light classes should not get one shot due to no fault of their own. Inhibits movement. Fires a scarcely avoidable big ass projectile. What do you mean scarcely avoidable? The loose cannon is the weakest of the grenade launchers. That's why no one uses it. Quickie bomb launcher. Pure spam weapon. Have you ever used it? Have you ever used the quickie bomb launcher and tried to do better than the sticky bomb launcher? The answer is probably no. The Eyelander has a major accumulation issue. I think the Eyelander needs a nerf, but you don't need to remove it. Scotsman Skullcutter, just remove random crits on it. That's all you have to do. Just remove random crits. Ullapool, what the fuck do you mean? No weapon should be a means to an easy kill as long as you're willing to die too. That's what makes it fun! That's what makes it fucking fun! What the hell's wrong with you? No fucking fun allowed. You play Spy! You die every time you get a kill! What are you smoking? That is Spy as a class! Let us have fun! And the fuck do you mean easy kill? You kill yourself when you use this thing. The fucking VOD's gonna get age restricted now because I said those two words in succession. No, I have to say, oh, I unalived myself. Just put the fucking caber back. Revert the nerfs. Completely unnecessary. If I can one tap a medic, I should be able to. I don't care. Fuck you. Put it back. Doesn't need to be nerfed. Revert it completely. I don't care what people say. It was fun. Fuck you. What did he do to Heavy? The fuck did he do to Heavy? Tomislav. No like universal changes, just straight into weapon rebalances. Tomislav. Remove the 20% slower firing speed. Remove the silent killer. Remove the 20% faster spin up time. Remove 20% more accurate. What? And then raise the damage fall off curve by a power of 0.55. So it's just the normal minigun with less fall off? So it's basically a stronger minigun at mid to long range, and you deal less damage at close range. This would be AIDS. Fucking AIDS to deal with. Yeah, and now it's not the Tomislav anymore. This would be fucking raw AIDS to fight at long range. And also, guess what for Spy mains? They don't get fucked over by a Heavy anymore. If he starts shooting at them, no wonder they nerfed it like that. Ugh. They just made it insanely polarizing. Okay, actually, better yet, rewind, remove everything I just said. Power of 0.55, okay. Thinking of the curve, if they're adjusting it by a power of 0.55, what does that translate into? At max fall off range, you deal what, 5 damage per bullet? Something like that? Or 4 damage, it's 4 or 5 damage per bullet, I don't remember exactly. Adjusting that by a power of 0.55 brings that to what? 7? 8 damage. It's not that much. With your spread on top of that, so the amount of like positive benefit you get is so much lower compared to the insane damage buff, debuff you get at close range. And you're not gonna hit anything with that spread. Yeah, so this is just a massively worse stock minigun. You're always dealing damage at the ranges that matter, where a heavy should be doing damage, and then doing maybe just a tad bit more per individual bullet, not for your continuous stream, but per individual bullet at long range. Horrible design. Dolichos bar, increased max health by 100? You can just, what? I guess it doesn't matter for a spy main because you can backstab him anyways, but a heavy just walking around with 400 health is crazy. Without a medic in his ass. Like, sure, overheal is still capped to 450, but that's insane. Eat Dolichos bar, whip out fists of steel. You don't die. That's nuts. The real buff the Dolichos bar needs, yes, make the eating animation faster. That's all you have to do, is make the eating animation faster. That's the only buff it needs. Then it's worthwhile to use. That's all you have to do. Okay. Meditation, what did he do to the KGB? What the fuck did he do to the KGB? I swear to God, if he removed the melee crits because they're somehow bad, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. I'm gonna rip my goddamn teeth out. The plush goes in the garbage disposal. If he removed the fucking crits, she's going in there. Added 20% movement speed for 10 seconds after kill. Crit duration doubled? Crits are restricted to the gloves. Firing speed penalty increased from 20% to 50%. Half the swing speed is crazy. No one will use this. If your swing speed is cut in half, that's insane. No one will use this. If you miss one swing, you're just fucked. You're better off using the stock fists and praying for a random crit. Plus, you can no longer combo this with a shotgun. What's the fucking point? Sure, your crits can last twice as long, and you have a speed boost, but what's the fucking point if you can't get a swing out, and you just die? Warrior Spirit, 150 health gain on deploy? Oh my God, I feel like I'm going through I'm having a come to Jesus moment. What the hell is happening with this? 150, so you have 450 health. That's your health pool. 450 health, okay? You're honor bound, so if you put them away, you deal 200 damage to yourself, removed the downsides of the damage vulnerability, and the health restored on kill, but also then remove the damage penalty. So you just turn into a 450 health melee only juggernaut. My interpretation of this is that you go from 300 to 450, but if it's 150 health gained by just whipping it out, like you're at 50 health and the instant you change to them, you get 150 extra health. Holy survivability. That is fucking broken. And then like as soon as a medic starts healing you, you can just put them away and you're good. Like this is the ultimate bailout weapon. Like if you just get caught out at range, you whip these out and get a free 150 health and you bail out, you hide. That's fucking nuts. Holy batshit, Batman. What are these changes? I don't know, dude. I don't know what these are. Grouch, please. I need Grouch back in here. Grouch, please come back, buddy. We need you. Grouch, we need you bad. So, just come back. Give us. Grouch, make a second video. Please. Grouch, please make a second video. Your changes were so much more fun. These just make me angry. I'm just angry right now. Like this is like not even fun. I'm just pissed. Exclusions. No, Natasha. Inhibits movement. I agree it's annoying, but rework it into something else more fun. Hulong heater. Fuck you. Why would you remove it? The sole purpose is to counter spy for no good reason and fails at it. If you think the Hulong heater is only in existence to counter spy, you are a fucking retard. What the fuck are you on? This weapon rewards you for being aggressive and thrusting your fucking flames into them and getting the bonus damage and coordinating with a pyro to get the bonus damage. This gun is good. It's good to hang around a corner or on like a ledge and have people come to you and then they just fucking die. They get annihilated by the flame ring and then the bonus damage. It's a good, I almost exclusively use the Hulong heater over everything else. Seriously, the Hulong heater is really good. I'm shocked more people don't use this thing. Like it's been like shoved into this corner of like, oh, the Hulong heater is like super weak. No, it's not. The DPS is barely different than stock. It's really good. Buffalo steak, why? What the fuck do you mean accumulation issue? Because it has a recharge? Huh? What do you mean accumulation? No fun allowed. Family business, stock clone. Remove every rocket launcher then. Other than like the beggars, where you remove the beggars and the direct hit. The fuck you mean? Panic attack, we already know why he removed that. Eviction notice and holiday punch. What do you mean remove eviction notice? Just revert the eviction notice back to how it functioned before Valve nerfed it into the goddamn floor. That's all you have to do. The weapon was fun before it got needlessly nerfed. And the holiday punch, sole purpose is to pretend you're a heavy or a friendly. Have you ever once played heavy in your life? Do you know how fucking annoying it is to Uber somebody and then someone whips these out and just turns your Uber off? Have you ever played this goddamn class? Ever? What the fuck do you mean? It's only used to pretend you're a goddamn friendly. Are you insane? I'm gonna get a goddamn aneurysm. What are these justifications? Tomorrow's gonna be great, guys. Tomorrow's gonna be fucking awesome. I cannot wait to bake shitty cupcakes pumped full of egregious amounts of yellow mustard than to put myself through this. What do you do to engineer? What the fuck did he do to engineer? Melee hit registration now prioritizes friendly buildings. Meaning, if a teammate comes in front of you, you can heal your buildings through your teammate. Fishstick was right. Spy mains must be purged. Listen, Fish buddy, you and I agree on something here. I think now I agree. Spy mains, eradicate them. Remove them from the gene pool. Reasoning made sure crucial repair and build boost actions are executed per player's command instead of being eaten by unimportant teammate interactions. That logic could be literally used for any other instance where you have a teammate in front of you blocking your shots. If a teammate is in front of you, you should not be able to heal your sentry through them. That's just silly. Construction PDAs. Sentries. Remove the ability to build sentries underwater. So that affects what? Like 4 maps? But even then, who fucking cares? Just kill it? Why is it a problem to build anything underwater? What is that? Well, Lakeside, Two Fort, obviously. What else? Aquarius, I guess. It's dog shit, but like half the map's underwater, so okay. Yeah, Pipeline too. Got killed by a sentry gun in Two Fort sewers too often, I guess. Jesus. Reduce teleporter build and upgrade cost by 25%. No, that's pretty good. You don't need to buff teleporters anymore. Teleporter priority is enforced in order from least to most speed. Not who stands on it first. Not whoever stands on it first. Like if you're a 100% in base health class, fuck you, I guess. Sorry, 100% in base speed class, fuck you, I guess. How about just like wait your turn and get in line and having it also overcomplication. Who gives a shit? Whoever stands on it first gets the ride. Makes the most sense. Why even make it that complicated? There's no point for that. Added a mini dispenser. We don't need a mini dispenser. We really don't need a mini dispenser. We don't need a mini sentry. Widowmaker. Changed ammo per shot from -30 to -22. Removed 10% increased damage to sentry target. Unfair to receive extra damage when put against a sentry. How often is this actually realized? How often are you shooting the same target as your sentry gun with the Widowmaker? And even if you are, that amounts to 9 extra damage at point blank. So why remove it? It is a nothing stat. I completely agree. It's a nothing stat that basically has no reason to be there. So removing it, probably not even that big of a deal. But then why give it an extra, why basically give it an extra shot? You don't really need that. I think the Widowmaker's fine as is. You don't need to remove it. Wrangler. Decrease shield resistance from 66% to 40%. Reasoning. Sentry requires absent levels of team coordination to take down when wrangled. Yes, honestly, this is like the first balance change that I 100% agree with. There's nothing wrong. Shield's too strong. Being able to triple the health of your sentry gun is fucking insane. You should not be able to do that. While increasing its range and doubling its firing speed, while still being able to heal the same amount of effective health, because it is the same amount of effective health. You have like 33% reduced healing on your sentries, but if your sentry gun has 3 times the amount of health, you're still healing the same amount of effective health. Practically anyways. It's like not exactly transferred. Not exactly the same, not exactly transferred, but it's the same amount of effective health. Nerfing the shield, 100% agree on. So that, 40% is still a lot, because that's still, what, slightly more than double the health of the sentry, but it's still better than what we have now. I say bring it down to just 15% or 30%. Yeah, 30 or 33%. Yeah, that to me, that's even better. Better yet, remove the shield altogether. The Wrangler sucks. This thing does not need to be in the game. I hate it. Gunslinger. Added the ability to wield weapons when hauling buildings? What? Said wielded weapons cannot be reloaded and have 100% increased spread? What's the point of this complexity? Huh? Added damage ramp up. Starts at 50% damage and ramps up to 125% damage over 3 seconds? Removed no random critical hits because you don't have random crits. Removed third successful punch is now always a random crit. Talk about no fun. And reduced mini sentry's turn rate by 45%. Reduced mini sentry's knockback by 25%. So massive nerfs to the mini sentry, which can still be one shot. And you can carry a weird, fucked up shotgun with weird damage ramp up? Oh no, sorry, sentry damage ramps up. So first of all, the mini sentry already does way less damage than a normal sentry, okay? Like, I don't remember the exact DPS between a level 1 and a mini. So first of all, cut that in half. So if you get caught out by a mini sentry, it's dealing half damage to you, which is something you can kill in one shot anyway. So like a scout can now consistently run up to a mini sentry and 2-tap it with no issue. Massive nerf. Who is letting a mini sentry fire upon them for more than 3 seconds? Most sentries die in less than 2 seconds against whatever they're shooting at. Massive nerf. Practically making mini sentries useless. The whole point is that they are disposable, but then making them deal even less damage is crazy. It's useless now. If someone gets caught out, it's like getting sneezed on. Now pair that with the battalion's backup, and now they do nothing. Eureka effect. On teleport to spawn, refills health and ammo, reasoning, quality of life improvement, which saves time. I don't really see an issue with that. I thought it did that already. I could have sworn this did that already. Okay, this is fine. This is a totally sane buff. I don't see a problem with this. If it's already teleporting you back to spawn, you're getting max health and ammo anyway. I don't see an issue. Why would you remove the Frontier Justice? One of the engineer's most iconic items, fun items, and you remove the Frontier Justice. Accumulation issue. The motherfucker has a big glowing gun. You know he's gonna crit you. Who keeps track of how many kills a sentry gun gets anyways? No one. Why would you do this? Insane. Thompson. Punish the spy and medic for no good reason, largely useless. Then just rework it. The Thompson can absolutely be reworked into a DPS weapon that's more fun to use, while also not having the downsides that punish spy and medic. Because those being there just suck. I completely agree. Remove those attributes. They suck. Okay. This is the first instance where I have no issues. Remove the short circuit. Honestly, best mod ever. Best fucking mod ever. Removing the short circuit immediately rectifies all of the other changes he made. The fact that there's no short circuit, I'm totally okay. I would play this every day. This is now the mod I will play religiously every fucking day because there is no short circuit. It's now the best mod ever, 100%. And then Southern Hospitality only serves to punish spy for good reason, get fucked. Increased fire vulnerability is a very random downside. Sure, the Southern Hospitality could use some tweaks, but I think bleed on hit is totally fine. It doesn't just punish spy, it punishes everyone. Medic. General changes. Added 20% faster healing speed for the first 2 seconds of healing a particular teammate. That completely fucks up healing. That completely fucks up healing ramp up. Why would you do this? Medic's healing rate hasn't been changed since day 1. I don't think he knows about crit heals. No, he doesn't know about crit heals because he obviously does not play medic. Healing an enemy spy disguised as scout will now increase your run speed to that scout. That's stupid. Added healing sound fluctuation based upon the status of the patient. So I guess like pitch shifting from low to high, I guess that's okay. I don't see an issue with that. I don't think it's needed because when you're healing someone, you see that you're filling up the men. You see that you're filling up the men with the meter gradually rising. So I don't think you need to add more sounds to keep track of. I don't think that's necessary. That implies spy gets the speed of a scout when disguised as him. Yes, it does. I hope he did not change that. I have been playing an obscene amount of medic lately. I love filling up men. I do. It's great. It's great. It's a great good time. I fucking love it. I'm trying to get my numbers up, man. Trying to get my numbers of filling up men up. It's a good time. Love filling up men. Faster initial per enemy heal speed that resets added to encourage more equal healing profile. What the fuck does that mean? Just spread your heals out. Anyone that plays medic would look at this and think that's an insane buff. An insane buff. Like, if you're trying to actually build Uber, you're already rotating heals enough to only heal patients that have less than 100% health. Any competent medic knows to rotate heals anyways. Not to mention, the feedback you get from filling up men, bars full, transition to other unfilled man, then fill him up. It's that easy. It's just that easy. I think this is an unnecessary buff that is just completely fucks up the concept of crit heals. You don't need to do that. The men in question after one match with Zesty, Gregnate indeed. I ingregnate many men as I play medic, I do. Wunderbar. Made the Uber build rate equivalent to the overheal build rate of the stock Medigun actual health healed. Damage is fixed and reduced to 42% per shot. Uber build rate increased to properly incentivize more skilled healing. So you kind of buffed it. You don't need, the last thing you should be doing to the crossbow is making you get more Uber when you heal someone with it. You really don't need to do that. I agree, the crossbow does too much damage, but base 42 damage at point blank is a bit much. For me, the nerf the crossbow needs, just cap the max damage at 50. That's all you need to do. Kritzkrieg added a 3-second voice line forewarning upon pressing the Uber button before the Uber fully activates. Massive fucking nerf. So you hit the button, then there's a 3-second delay, then the crits open up. Holy shit. It's much harder to react than to a regular Uber. That's the fucking point of the goddamn Medigun. 3-second delay between hitting... Okay, first of all, it's already practically impossible to use the Kritzkrieg in any pub situation because you're not actively coordinating with anyone on your team. You're playing with randos, right? And so, like, you using the Kritzkrieg is already not going to work out for you because, first of all, when someone's being healed, they're usually not looking at what Medigun you're using, so they're not going to know that you are using the Kritzkrieg. I have crits ready unless you tell them, and you don't know if they're listening to you. So that's already a gamble. But then you have the added layer to this where, like, okay, I'm gonna Kritzkrieg you. Now please wait 3 seconds before you start shooting somebody. Oh, now you have the crits. Holy shit. This makes it way more clunky. Massively clunky. Not to mention a massive nerf. Adding that extra delay, plus also medic like shouting, I am about to deal random crits. Ugh, yeah, I'm about to deal random crits, yeah. Terrible German accent, I know. Talk about this thing being rendered effectively useless most of the time. The Kritzkrieg the last thing the Kritzkrieg needs is a nerf. The last thing the Kritzkrieg needs is a nerf. Horrible idea. No, leave it the way it is. It needs no changes. Pressing reload allows you to toggle mirroring blast jumps and shield charges of patience, quality of life buff that increases movement control. It is a little bit annoying when you're healing someone and you don't know they're about to blast jump and they just take you with them. That is a little bit annoying. I think I wouldn't make it yeah, I guess reload's fine, yeah. Basically holding reload means you want to mirror your blast jumps with somebody. I think that's fine. I think that's agreed, because I don't like being taken off a cliff by someone that suddenly decides to blast jump on upward or something. That's happened to me multiple times before. I think that's fine. This is like the second change that I basically completely agree with. I think that's fine. Vaccinator. Remove the ability to build Uber during Uber use. Remove the ability to partake in objectives during an Uber use. I like it. Reduce the plus 67% Uber charge rate to plus 50%. At this point, remove the Vaccinator. At this point, just fucking remove it. This thing sucks to fight against. Most medics don't use it because it's too complicated. Just get rid of it. If you were gonna remove anything with this balance mod, other than the short circuit, the Vaccinator or the Wrangler was like the next best candidate. Remove it. It doesn't need to be in the game. It is easily the most polarizing weapon where either the person using it is useless or the person using it is a goddamn god and you cannot kill them. This nerfs it a bit, which I think is fine. I take no issues with it. So if we're taking this as is, I see no problems with these changes. More Vaccinator nerfs, totally fine. But I'd go harder. I would just remove it completely. We don't need it. Uber Saw. Removed Uber gain on hit on spies. Boo fucking who? Oh my god. No reason to punish the entire team because the weakest class in the game that's required by design to be in a medic's healing range lost the fight. Boo fucking who? What do you mean required to be in the medic's melee range, buddy? When you're listen, you fail stabbed, now die. Sorry. If you have the insta-kill mechanic from behind and you fuck up, you get to die now. That is the biggest skill issue I have ever seen. This cannot be rage bait anymore. It has to be a psyop to make any sense. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Vitasaw. Change the organ-based Uber retention system to 15% Uber charge gained is retained after death. Current weapon is much worse Ubersaw and ought to have something going for it. No, people still are never going to use this. The only time you're ever going to, like, the Vitasaw sucks because you have to die in order to make it, you know, in order for its upsides to be realized, which is really annoying. So no one uses this thing. And to me, it needs to be completely reworked. This is basically the pre-nerf version of the item, yes. And then it got nerfed because this was the meta in competitive mode, because medics were basically required to run this because if they died, they basically had Uber at and could just, you know, and have an advantage moving after the respawns. They nerfed it accordingly to the version we have now to make it so medics have to take an additional risk to retaining Uber on death, and now no one uses it. So for me, the Vitasaw needs a complete rework into something completely different, because even with this version that's better than the version we have now, players are still not going to use it because you have to die to keep your Uber at max 15% of 100%, which really doesn't translate into all that much in the vanilla setting, so it still sucks. I don't know what they can do to it, but they can certainly do something else to improve it. Amputator made the healing taunt interruptible. Yes, thank you. But you should give it a cooldown. Give it a cooldown so you can't spam it. Being able to spam this and being able to interrupt it whenever you want, pretty strong. Give it a cooldown. But yes, Amputator, this change, don't really see an issue. Once again, another change I got no problems with. This is fine. This is fine. Solemn Vow. Teammate health is displayed passively on screen when enemy health becoming displayed on Alt-Fire toggle. Makes it for a slightly more consequential upside and downside, but overall above to an otherwise useless and uninteresting stock clone. Teammate health is displayed passively on the screen, with enemy health becoming displayed on Alt-Fire toggle? I don't think I get it. You press a mouse button to swap between friendly and enemy health bars? But only if they're in your line of sight? Or so you don't need to mouse over them anymore, and if you just see their health all the time? Teammate health displayed passively on screen, right, as it is when you're healing someone, or when you're looking at them, okay? Use Alt-Fire to toggle display enemy health. I think he means like how spectator cam can see enemy team's health. Is that it? Maybe the alcohol is setting in, but I'm not sure what they mean. I'm not sure what they mean here. I think the Solemn Vow, as I basically only run the Solemn Vow forever now, because the Ubersaw is fucking boring to me. I only use the Solemn Vow with a syringe gun, so I know who I can bum rush and kill. I like the Solemn Vow. It's okay to have some things that aren't that great. And he removed nothing on Medic, which is fascinating. Sniper, here we go. What did he do to Sniper? Oh boy. Here we go. Body shotting does 67% of current damage. All rifles? Okay, that's too heavy-handed. Headshot damage is at 112.5, below 1.5 seconds at a point which resumes where it would normally be. Okay, so headshots reduced. So quickscopes reduced to 112. Charge can only be gained while aiming within a 3-meter radius of any one enemy, even if they are within line of sight. So you can only charge your sniper rifle when they're close to you? What? When not charging, charge is drained at a rate of 10% per second. Upon a sniper rifle starting to gain charge, the fully charged ding sound is played on your end. Huh? Body shotting damage reduced to increase skill floor. Okay. Initial headshot damage reduced to facilitate counterplay. Charging requirements in Drain added to prevent circumventions of above change and reduce cheesy strategies. The problem is quickscopes, not snipers standing in one place being vulnerable to get the maximum charge. That is like way too heavy. If I'm interpreting this correctly, an enemy has to be close by in order for the base damage to increase when you're scoped and charging? Is that what this means? Oh, so hold on. It stays at 112 up into 1.5 seconds and then go. What? That's kind of a crazy nerf, honestly. That's like way too crazy of a nerf. I think it's a terrible idea. Holy shit, that's way too harsh. I'm in agreement with doing something about quickscopes, but that's just, you've nerfed the fuck out of Sniper a little bit too hard. Cozy Camper, increased health regen from 4 to 8? Regeneration only happens when aiming, removed no flinching because he removed flinching from the game in his mod pack. 8 health per second when scoped is crazy. Talk about being able to camp even harder, because people use this to camp when they're far removed from the front line. That's nuts, man. No, I think, no, you don't, no. Like, listen, I know fire is nerfed, but also remember at the beginning of the mod, he said that each of these things could be individually added to the game and would be fine. You gotta treat each of these things as if though they're in a vacuum, okay? That's we gotta do that here. We have to take that into account. Too strong. Why is the escape plan here? Wait, he gave the sniper the escape plan? Added to sniper because a weapon that rewards him by giving a way to deal with his weaknesses rather than eliminating some of them like other melees fits him. Yes, give sniper a stronger ability to bitch out and run away. What the fuck are you smoking? Are you on crack? Are you high? There's no way. There's no way. Ah yes, the class who sits at spawn needs a weapon to help him run into spawn better and to bitch out of fights where he's about to lose. Already far removed from the front line. Oh my god. I'm convinced these guys, like, this has to be a troll. And he removes everything. He just removes he just removed everything. Fuck it, he got lazy. Instead of like trying to rework everything, fuck it, everything else is gone. Why? Oh my god! Why would you remove the huntsman? What's his justification? Luck-based spam? Why? Ah! As if though like other spam isn't luck-based, the huntsman is fun. What the fuck? Why? Why would you do that? Sydney Sleeper body-shotting weapon? Cry about it! The Sydney Sleeper is worse than every other rifle most of the time except the classic. What? Classic. Body-shotting weapon. Why are body shots aren't the problem here? Body shots ain't the problem, Machina. Body-shotting weapon, penetration mechanic is unpredictable. For who? Who is it unpredictable for? There's people in the crowd, you see a fucking laser, you know you're gonna get penetrated. Motherfucker. Hitman's Heatmaker, useless in its current state, would have an accumulation. This guy really hates accumulation issues. He has a major issue with accumulation. Would have an accumulation issue if it were not so. Its main upside is further weakened by the global sniper rifle charge rate changes. How about don't do that? How about don't do that? Bizarre bargain would be made useless with just don't do that then. Girardi. Punish the spy for no good reason. Primarily used for cheap melee kills of the bushwhacker. Then just nerf the bushwhacker. Girardi's fine. Cleaner's carbine. Useless. The fuck you mean? It sucks, but it's a fun gimmick. There's nothing wrong with it. It sucks, but it's like fun to use. It's a combo with the bushwhacker, whatever. Razorback. I agree. Remove this fucking thing. Terrible weapon design. Does not need to be in the game. DDS. Punishes Pyro for no good reason. Completely agree. Rework it into something else. Bushwhacker. I agree, do something else with it. Shahansha, totally fine. Rewards having little health, but also punishes you for like trying to whip out and get a free random crit at max health. No issues. No one uses this thing fucking anyway. Tribalman Shiv, punish the spy, cry about it. No one uses this or this because this exists, and if this didn't exist, they would just use stock because it always does more damage with random crits. Oh, totally unbiased from a spy main. Getting pissed. Getting mad. Ugh. What did he do to Spy? Spy has to take 3 consecutive flame particle hits while disguised or cloaked before the third-person fire visuals display to enemies. Of course, he makes Spy less affected by the thing he's supposed to be caught out by. Fuck yeah. Buff the shit out of that. Why not? Raised Spy's resistance to spam, plain, and bad luck. Oh my god, no, do not do that. Changes. Bullet spread recovers linearly over the course of the cooldown. No, don't change that. Added a bindable function that allows the Spy to visually reload disguised weapons infinitely. I think that's fine. Adding some way to like better fool enemies, totally fine. That's okay. Knives. The following backstab registration condition is now also lag compensated. The spy may be facing as much as 175.5 degrees off from the direction where the victim is facing, but no more. Does anyone know the original direction? I don't know the fucking degrees here. Added a new backstab registration condition. If the spy is within 53 degrees of a viewing of his victim, lag compensated from the victim's side, the backstab will no longer register as such. I don't know what the original degrees are. I don't fucking know if that's a buff or a nerf. I have no clue. Reason, added lag compensation to the condition that was missing to prevent face stabs in certain cases of failed stabs in the spy's POV. Added the new registration condition to prevent failed stabs in the victim's POV while still allowing spy to play normally. If that actually does what it's supposed to do, fine. Watches. Reduced cloak time from 1 to 0.8. Don't think that's needed. Reduced decloak from 1.8 to 1.4. Don't really think that's needed. Remove the possibility of the disguise process smoke being visible through cloak. That's fine. Removed all healing and overheal visuals on cloaked spies to enemies. I think that's fine. That's overly punishing. I see no issue with that. Individual weapons. Headshot damage fall off starts at 1024 and then falls to 18. Thank you. Just revert it. Just revert the fucking ambi. That's all. Just revert the ambassador. It didn't need to be nerfed. People were bitching about the wrong things. Revert the fucking ambassador. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Just put it back. Just fucking put it back. That's all you have to do. And then put it back and then have like the crits just flat out stop at 1200 hammer units so you can't snipe someone from across the map. L'Étranger, damage ramp up is capped at 125. Why? Close range damage nerf because it gives a hefty passive stat and effectively doesn't have a downside for knife spies. What the fuck is a knife spy? It feels like a really unnecessary nerf. Like the L'Étranger is good, but I don't really ever see people calling for it to be nerfed in any capacity. Spy has a gun. The Ur, removed plus 33% cloak drain. Thank God. Thank you. This is such a useless downside. It doesn't need to be there. Remove the ability to disguise on command. So they just reverted it. That's what they did. So a full revert to the weapon in the previous state. Completely agree with this. 100% agree. This is good. Good. The Ur, back to how it was. Totally fine. Kunai always grants 140 health. No. Holy shit, no. Always 140 health on backstab? How about no, fuck you. Why buff it? Increased overheal decay from 2.33 to 4.25 per second. So you decay your health twice as fast, but you always get 140 health on backstab? That's nuts! Like, this upside massively outweighs this downside. They nerfed it for a reason, so it accounts for enemy health. So you're not just farming 140 health per stab is crazy. You'll just never die if doing a chain stab. I need Starry in here. Buddy, what do you like? Friend, what is this? Help me. Makes health gain more consistent. No. You already have the consistency of a base, what, 70 per pack, like per backstab at least, right? Is that where it is right now? At least base of 70 and then it increases based off the amount of health they have. Sorry, 75, is it 75 base? Whatever it is. Jesus. Disguise kit. Added the bindable ability to move its spy's base speed regardless of disguise. That's good. I think that's a cool buff. That should be in the game. Added the bindable ability to strip cosmetics from your disguise. I mean, I guess it increases the amount of confusion, but if you're I guess, so you're not recognized by the person you're disguising as, but that's kind of a needed downside. Spawning wall hacks aren't applicable to spies. Yeah, this is great. The fucking seeing a disguised spy's health, you should not be able to, like, ever since they added those stupid health bars on Spectate, that's awful. But yes, agreement with this. I guess agreement with this. I see no real issues with that. Dead Ringer removed the activation delay after stabbing, increased 50% to 100% cloak regions. So they buffed they buffed the Dead Ringer. This thing has been a rat's nest of changes for so long. I don't know if they're ever gonna get it right. I think the current version of the Dead Ringer is fine. You don't need to buff it more. You made it too strong. Leave it the way it is. Leave it the way it is. Oh, I missed 2 stats on the kit, sorry. Spy's cosmetics are visible to his teammates, cool. Disguising his medic now defaults to the disguise holding the medigun. I like that too. Sure, these are all fine. These are needed buffs, I think. So a new weapon entirely. So double the sapper health. So it takes 4 swings to remove instead of 2, but it just disables buildings and does no damage to them. That's really strong. Having a sapper disable a building for 4 swings is nuts. Yeah, so he adds a new weapon for spy and then deletes like half the existing roster. No more enforcer. The enforcer's awesome. Fuck you. There's no reason for it to ignore certain resistances. Of course there is. Main upside is an unfair first shot. What do you mean fucking unfair? You sacrifice your disguise to get the damage bonus. How is that unfair? Diamondback absolutely needs to be reworked in some capacity. I don't know how. Spicicle, why? What the fuck do you mean stock clone? Spicicle's okay. Don't remove it. Red tape recorder does suck shit. But if you're gonna give this buff to anything, give it to this. Like, give this sapper maybe a little bit more health. But beyond that, don't do anything else. Are we done? Am I free? Am I free of this now? Oh my god. If I decide to cut this up from YouTube, I'm not. I haven't decided yet because holy shit, this has been a fucking whirlwind. Oh, this has been an insane whirlwind of wild balance changes that make no fucking sense, that just contradict everything this mod's trying to do. There's even contradictions in the same sentence. Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. Someone make this as a balance mod and just see how this plays.